It is your Wednesday night sports delight. Wait a minute. Hold on. There we go. It's official now. The Platform Sports Talk Show. I am your boy Smoooth.
And I'm standing, baby.
And it's your girl Bunny.
When it's about sports.
Oh, it becomes our business.
And business just picked up.
There it is.
Yeah, it did.
Right,
She's like, wait a minute. Oh, that's right. It is my part.
I'm sitting here like, what's
Right, because
happening?
We got brother standing here another week in a row. It's like, oh, okay.
That's always been your part. I've always said, and business just picked up. That is always my line, whether I'm here, whether I'm not. That is me. When you hear that, you think, stay, baby.
Uh-oh.
Oh, okay.
When you think of trash cans, think of Hakeem. Think of me.
Oh, my God.
That's my part. That is my part.
America, yeah.
Well, he thought he had something magnificent when he said that.
He was all nice and proud on the with the broom. You think of trash. think of Hakeem.
Hakeem.
We hope y'all are having a wonderful Wednesday. Go ahead right now and hit that like,
His
that
mama name
share.
Clay? I'm going to call him Clay.
Right. Hit all that, y'all, on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Go on YouTube, subscribe, click on that.
Bell, baby.
Because anytime we go live,
You, sitting there eating that pack of chicken flavored ramen, you will be notified.
Chicken flavored ramen.
Chicken flavored.
We upgraded in life. I thought we
Chicken
just
flavored.
wanted
First of
ramen.
all, ain't nothing wrong with a classic, okay?
Right.
You don't feel like cooking for real?
I thought we upgraded. Why we can't do it with one in the bowl so you get the little vegetables with it? IJS.
Man, the one that you're not
Say
supposed to put in the
IJS.
microwave, man, miss me.
she should have said IJS.
She did. I'm just like, all right, she just gonna just use text lingo. That's what we doing.
Exactly.
All day, every day. Hey,
That's what we doing. We real cool today.
Man.
We cool, like in the words of my boy Stuart Scott, R.I.P. Like the other side of the pillow.
Man, rest in peace to that dude. I think his birthday was like not too long ago. Now I think about it. Man,
Yeah.
It's amazing to think about, people like himself and Craig Sager and other guys who's been gone for a few years now. It's like, man, just like that,
Right.
Like, man, time just go by so fast. But definitely rest in peace to him. Once again, this is your Wednesday night sports delight.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you very much for tuning in. We appreciate it. We have another incredible show in store for you. Man, I say last week was amazing, man.
It was fun. Had a great time.
Man, last week
Run
was
it
truly amazing, and it doesn't stop tonight. Another special guest will be here in the getaway, so go ahead and just share it, let everybody know what's going on. Also, make sure that y'all go on the screen. You see it now. If you're on Facebook, you want to have your comments shown everywhere. You got to go ahead and go on the Platform Sports Talk Show page on Facebook, and you can leave your comments, and we can see it on the screen. Have the whole world reading what you're talking about sports-wise. If there's anything on your mind that you want to get out in regards to sports, let this be the platform to do so, as the Cardinals are now up 2-0 over the Milwaukee Brewers. So there we go. Let's produce, man. I
know, because yesterday
Oh,
they
my
got some
God.
nice Krispy Kreme donuts.
Oh, I was so frustrated last night. It's like, here we go again. It's the same old song. Play
Krispy
good.
Kreme.
Same old song.
Right. Oh, do your dance, Bunny. Hey.
Throwback. What y'all know about
Do
this
your
song?
dance. You talking to a DJ. Come on now. She forgot who I
Throw that
was.
plug in for Smoooth Productions that always accepting gigs and book me. Go ahead, throw that plug in.
There
Yeah.
it is. Mr. Jack of all trades. You know what's happening. But yeah, man. So Cardinals already up to a good start against Milwaukee, 2-0. Already started up a great night. We look forward to it. Stan, what's going on your way, man?
Man. Nothing.
Nothing.
Chilling.
Sometimes they say,
Eager for this basketball season to start. Summer League just wrapped up.
man, and I was going to ask our guest about that.
The games you got coming up?
Hey, you know what, Bunny? That's like the perfect segue because I had it already waiting.
All right.
I already had it. So on your screen. So let's first talk about opening night. because that should be pretty exciting. So opening night on your screen, everyone, and Bunny, you probably see in a few seconds if you got your other device up. But opening night on TNT, first game of the season, Brooklyn Nets versus the Milwaukee Bucks, the reigning, defending, undisputed champs. So that should be a great game. Do you think KD and Giannis is like the new rivalry now in basketball?
I mean, you know, that is the team that the Bucks beat on the way to this championship. A lot of
comparison talk too.
A lot of people, are saying that, you know, if it would have been the other way around, Brooklyn would have been the ones to win the championship. Even if they would have got past the Bucks, my stance doesn't change. Brooklyn was their own worst enemy. It happened. That's an interesting matchup.
A new rivalry, I can see it. The best, I don't know, but a new one, yes.
And then the last game, Golden State versus the Lakers, and this should be, hopefully, if he's not injured, nothing holding him back, it'll be the first game in 2 years for one Klay Thompson.
You mean it's the Warriors versus the ARP club?
She said the
It's still gonna be a good game. Again, IJS.
Well, if that's the case, play him early. If you're the Lakers, you know what I'm saying, while they fresh.
Saying, 'cause you already know, man. Them injuries, the older you get, man, they hit a little different.
Man.
I'm 36.
So you have those games coming up opening night on TNT. Then let's just say for the whole week, a slew of games. Not all the games, but a lot of like big marquee games coming up. So once again, you have what's going on Tuesday on the 19th. Then on the next day, Wednesday, Boston Celtics versus the Knicks. Then the Nuggets versus the Suns. So another great matchup coming up. Some Boston ties. Yeah.
You just mentioned Boston. Did they ever finally trade away Kemba or got his replacement?
Oh yeah, Kemba gone.
Kemba now is with the Knicks.
Kemba went back home.
Who?
Kemba went to the Knicks.
Yeah, he went to the Knicks. He got traded to OKC. Then he got traded again to the Knicks.
No, it was a buyout at that point.
It was a buyout. I'm trying to think, who did Boston get?
Dennis Schroeder, did he?
No. No. Well, they signed him.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
Right.
They
They
went
signed
for a
him.
measly 5.9.
You talking about a clearance sale?
Wow.
5.9.
Wow.
That boy turned down 80.
Deal, but I said clearance sale. Okay.
That boy turned down 80.
Al Horford is back with the Boston Celtics again. That's who it was from OKC.
Al Horford.
It was Al Horford and another player from OKC and maybe like a draft pick. But then
that's what they got for Kemba. Okay.
Yeah.
And then Kemba ended up with the Knicks.
Right.
Got it. That sound like Patrick
Dennis
Beverly because he done got traded again too. But okay.
Embarrassing.
Oh my God! Like Dennis.
Hey man, you thought your value was more than it was. The Lakers was gonna give you that much, and you only getting 5 now.
He was like, I don't want it.
Right.
I know my worth. Do you?
Right. Do you really? You better fire your agent.
I don't know. Like after that happened, when he signed for $5 million, do you fire your agent or do you just drink
Everybody.
some of that old
Hey,
pride juice?
you fired. You get fired.
My
get
agent
fired.
My nutritionist fired.
My family
stylist fired. My girlfriend
Your
fired.
family, you fire your family.
Fire the dog.
Hey, they told me don't take it. You deserve more. And look what happened now.
They get fired too, because one thing you know, he can't afford his family no more.
Man.
But what he got, what he getting? Shit.
Five.
Like, hey, I'm barely getting by right now. Barely getting by.
Man.
If that's barely getting by, then I just want to be broke by them standards. What's broke to them? A couple $100,000?
Taxes, that man gonna barely see $1 million.
And the Knicks, they also have what's his name, Evan Fournier. He used to play with the Magic. He went to Boston for the trade last year. Now he with the Knicks. So the Knicks are loading up.
Knicks got a squad.
Okay.
They re-signed Derrick Rose.
Hey, well, I don't want to talk about
Rose,
that.
baby.
I don't want to talk about that based off the simple fact that
Why? You want him to go back to the Bulls?
that actually the report came out that the Bulls had expressed interest in signing him, and he ain't signed. Which, you know, I halfway get it, but at the same time, come on,
He
man.
wasn't trying to relive that
That's
again.
home. But at the same time, it's like they did let him go.
Working under Coach Stibbs, though. So you stay in New York, you like the coach. You know what I'm saying? Coach looked out for him, make sure he brought him on. You know,
Bring Tibbs back. We don't. Well, nah, Billy Donovan. We'll see what he does.
Right.
We'll see what Donovan does with this.
I mean, the Bulls are pretty loaded.
Yeah, we getting there.
You know, we didn't get the opportunity to have that talk like we want to last week.
We getting there. I'm just hey. We got some keys. Okay. My favorite pickup being Alex Caruso. Yeah, let me stop. My favorite pick,
DeRozan.
My favorite pickup was DeRozan, but when we got Lonzo, I was like,
"Here we go."
I'll take that.
They started something.
What y'all think about Lonzo on the Bulls? So how that's gonna work out?
Man, he said, and I quote, "They are gonna let me be me." I'm like, well, I'm excited to see who you are.
Right.
I was about to say, I thought we saw who you are. Apparently,
I thought we did too. You know,
yeah, we can pass on how you are, but okay.
I mean, the jump shot does look better now. I've seen video of him in the gym. The shot does look better.
Yeah, he definitely has improved with the look of the shot and the efficiency as well.
Before that fight was ugly,
right?
And then DeMar DeRozan, he's that dog. Like he's gonna go at you, get the job done when he can. And then Alex Caruso is just.
I just look forward to seeing how he's gonna play now that he's not in LA. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully, it wasn't one of those things where you kind of look good at a certain place, a certain system.
Oh, no, you didn't see him in they had him in one of those little pro league gyms playing.
Come on. Come on. You can't compare that to no NBA.
You can.
Hold on. Man.
Hey, how many times?
My intelligence bringing that up.
How many times have we seen those videos of Carmelo and Ben Simmons doing those little runs? But then Ben
Simmons is just trash. That's
okay. Yeah, I know what he gonna be traded by the deadline. I thought he'd have been gone by now.
Man, look.
Deadline, he gone.
We gonna see.
He just trash.
You're devaluing your organization, keeping him on. He's a liability. Y'all been knowing this, but he's still there. That's right there. He ain't gonna be there by the end of this time next year. I'll tell you that much.
You should have knew his career was doomed when in his second year they gave him Rookie of the Year.
Oh Lord!
Should have known his career was doomed.
Hey, who was the other person that was with him the same year or something? It was something similar. Like they didn't. Oh, I think Blake Griffin did the same thing. He was out that first year, but then he played the second year. It was something like that. And everybody was like, man, you ain't deserving of that. You've been in the league for 2 years.
It's also true.
Right. The two light skin. Oh, let me stop.
Hey man, speaking of getting cut, Shannon Sharp called it too. Boy, Tebow got cut fast by them Jets.
I'm sorry.
Hey, if y'all saw what we saw,
ooh, that was bad.
Both those so-called blocks, my goodness, I could have done that.
That was a job that he lost out on. But I'm surprised it happened this early though, y'all, for real.
To be honest, Shannon Sharp broke it down beautifully. He
said, never had the opportunity first.
When you're a quarterback, they always teach you
when they first signed
don't tackle what you're throwing on. They always teach you that when you're a quarterback. So he is trying to tackle, but at the same time, in the back of his mind, he's got, oh damn, that's my throwing arm. Well, newsflash, Timothy Tebow, you no longer are a quarterback. You are a tight end. So go ahead, throw that shoulder. They ain't asking you to throw nothing. Sure. Yes, they sometimes throw in these little crazy schemes of plays. But I don't think Urban Meyer's going to go for that madness. I honestly believe that he would have utilized him as a tight end. But he didn't know how to be a tight end, and he got cut. Shannon Sharp looked at Skip and said, hey, you want to take back that comment saying that he can outblock me?
Oh, wait. Skip said that? For real?
Skip loves to.
You gotta be.
I don't know at this point. At this point, Skip just like to be Skip. Skip me on that BS, man. Like,
you gotta make the show interesting. So
gotta make the show interesting. But I feel like Shannon does that enough on his own.
Right.
Man. So yeah, that was one thing of cuts. They really don't advertise cuts like that, but they advertise that cut. They were like, yeah, this just
because it was controversial when they signed them. Again, we were talking about this when it first happened. It was like, hey, why is he even get an opportunity in other? And unfortunately, the race car was thrown out there because there's other players that happen to be black wouldn't get that opportunity after so many years, whether they have a relationship with the coach or not. But we knew it wasn't gonna last long because the tight end.
Man, look.
I'm sorry. One moment. Stan, keep talking. I'm sorry. Hold
Oh
on.
no, you good, you good. It was just the fact that he was announced as they were like, yeah, he's making a position switch. In football, you making that position switch? That's not easy, especially from quarterback to a full contact position. Nah.
Well, let's go back real quick to basketball before we continue on.
Yeah.
So Nuggets and the Suns once again on Wednesday night. That should be a good matchup. See how the Suns improve from their run in the finals, which, it started off great, but then but Milwaukee made the adjustments, and Chris Paul kind of left the earth.
And then the Kendall Jenner case.
4 game. Oh, Devin Booker, yeah. But
Why
we'll
you
see.
say he left the earth?
He wasn't the same guy that he was the first 2 games of the season.
I mean, you got to think he's never had a
okay.
playoff run go that far, so he probably wasn't. He wasn't well prepared. I mean, he was prepared, but he wasn't as prepared as he could have been.
And once again, the Nuggets, Michael Porter Jr. and them boys, Nikola Jokic.
Good Lord, you
never gonna stop. Never gonna stop.
God.
Hey. What Jordan say? And I took it personal.
Stop. Hey.
It ain't gonna stop, especially because he keeps getting better and better each year. It's like if we could have had that, but anyway.
Right, see, that's what I'm talking about. Let it go. He
can't-
graduated.
I
He
can't-
ain't coming back.
I just can't let
He
it
ain't
go.
coming back.
All right, so then Thursday, Mavericks versus the Hawks. That should be a great game. And some reason behind that is the Mavericks could have chose Trae Young, but they chose Luka. So I'm pretty sure it's kind of personal, with that pick.
I mean, plus, when they talk about one, they always bring up the others. Luka and Trey. They always
Every
talk
time.
about that.
They're like
every time.
hand in hand. You mention one, you got to mention the other.
Yeah.
Clippers and the Golden State Warriors. Now, Clippers made an interesting move these last 2 days. They traded away Patrick Beverly, Rondo, and another guy to Memphis to get Eric Bledsoe. Then
And
Beverly,
Eric Bledsoe worth all that?
I don't
wasn't
know.
Sure.
And then Beverly, the next day, gets traded to the Timberwolves.
Yeah.
So he
It's
came
like,
from a
I
team that
feel
was
like
like
the
right on the
Clippers
verge of the
almost
finals
going-
to now
Timberwolves.
But even though that young squad with Anthony Edwards, they on the rise. I can't say no playoff team yet. We'll see. But they are on the rise, and Anthony Edwards is that dude.
I could see them.
Well, let's go back to the Clippers part, though, because I'm not thinking they were trying to do a fire sale, but I'm trying to figure out the logic. Bledsoe for all of them pieces. Trying to make it make sense here. Unless y'all got a salary cap issue or some salaries. Y'all just gave Kawhi, a nice chunk of change, so I don't think it's the salaries. I was confused on that one. Maybe y'all know something I don't know.
Hey, we in the same boat as you right now. I was like,
I said, make it make sense.
whoa.
I thought Beverly was going to be there for a little while longer, at least.
And let's see, on Friday, Brooklyn Nets versus the 76ers. Embiid signed a 4-year extension. Then the Phoenix Suns versus the Lakers. So that's the tip-off for the opening week of basketball. Then we have some more Christmas Day games. This should be pretty good as well.
Yeah, Christmas lineup is going to be looking nice. Yeah, buddy.
So we have the Hawks and the Knicks. Then we have Boston versus Milwaukee. That pretty much happens every year, Boston and Milwaukee, during Christmas time.
Yeah.
Golden State and Phoenix. Brooklyn versus the Lakers. And I'll pray that everybody is healthy that game. I don't want to have no
we thought that was going to be
excuses.
the finals of this year, and
Right.
it didn't happen. So, yeah.
Right.
It was a teaser.
Yeah, so hopefully everyone is healthy and can make it happen. Then the last game is going to be Dallas Mavericks and the Utah Jazz, owned by part owner Dwayne Wade. Ain't that kind of weird that he's a part owner of the Jazz?
You want to know what's really weird?
What?
5 years ago, more than 60% of this would have been boring-ass games. Let me tell you something.
Right.
The Lakers and the
How
Knicks,
very
that
these
would have been
organizations
boring.
have
Right.
gotten better. I
The
say
Mavs
that.
and the Jazz, that would have been boring. Hawks versus Knicks, what? That's just a filler. Who else? Golden State versus Phoenix, that would have been one-sided. 6 years ago? Yeah, that would have been one-sided. Milwaukee and Boston? That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And-
my, you said 5 years ago, a lot has changed.
Man.
All right.
And it's pretty cool, should I say, because there's someone here now in the getaway that can relate to someone who's playing for the Boston Celtics on Christmas Day against the Milwaukee Bucks. And
you got Dennis Schroeder uncle in here, didn't you?
I got him in.
He got Dennis Schroeder uncle. No, he got his uncle in here.
Made it happen, y'all. Only on the platform Sports Talk Show.
Like, you got the clearance teammate. You know what I'm saying? That $5 million seemed like a clearance sale right there. I'm just saying.
Oh, man.
I'm just saying it. I don't want to say bargain
veterans
basement. I ain't gonna do
minimum?
them like that.
Like 800,000.
Oh, man.
I don't know. We can find out from our special guest. Come in just a little bit so that they can. Oh, right here. There you go. Okay. So we know you're so tall, like 8 feet tall up here in the getaway, you know. But without any further ado, man, this man here, I say, I'm pretty sure others will say, is a legend in St. Louis during his time at CBC. When I say that period of time, Stan Bunny, when he, Larry Hughes, Coach Ryan Johnson, shouts out to him if he's watching, that period of basketball that they had during that time, even against the V, it was one of the best times in St. Louis in Missouri. Then he went on to do big things at SLU. Now he's the head coach of his alma mater, CBC. And he knows a little bit about a guy named Jayson Tatum. I don't know what it is. It's something about it. You know, JT.
He part of the fan club.
Same
He part of
last
the fan
name.
club.
You know,
That's what it is.
something
That's
like
what
that.
it
You
is.
know,
He
I
in the
don't know
fan
what's
club.
going on, but we'll find out because
he's fan club treasurer. He can
No,
fan club
just real
treasurer.
quickly. You know how St. Louis folks are. Somebody's always related to somebody that's related
That's
to
his
somebody.
cousin. That's what
Right,
it is.
right,
That's his
okay.
cousin.
Neighbors removed. They related to a person that's famous. So
got it. That's what it is. That's what it is.
He stayed next door to my cousin, and they kids play together.
Exactly. He used to come through the drive-thru working at McDonald's. I used to hook him up all the time.
He used to
Man.
drive by the building I work in.
Right. So, ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, everybody show some love on Facebook, on Twitter, on YouTube. We have the one and only Mr. Jayson Tatum. What is happening?
Tatum is in the building.
Wait a minute. There we go. Now go ahead.
There you go. Can you hear me?
Oh,
There you
yeah.
There it is. There it
You
is.
ain't lying. He's tall. He's so tall his knees is tall as the table. Dang.
Yeah, they up. I'm gonna stretch him out in a minute.
He
My
gonna,
bad. I don't even
he gonna get right.
But I'm just saying.
Thanks for having me. How you guys doing?
Man, we are
doing
doing
good.
well. Thank
Good.
you for taking time out. I'm pretty sure doing this time is pretty hectic for you and everything.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
thank you for taking time out to be on
No.
the show.
No, I was gonna make sure it happened, man. My cousin RJ said he had a great time with you guys, and I'm glad I had the invite. So glad to be here.
Oh yeah, man. Definitely.
Glad to have you.
Definitely a pleasure. You know, we were saying last week we had an incredible show. The Craig Black, his idol, came through last week. We had Coach
time.
Darren White from Career Academy came through the virtual line and everything.
Okay.
And then you're here, so it's just a great time for the Platform Sports Talk Show. You got your peoples already saying what's happening. Nicole
I'm
Galvin.
about to say,
What's
wait.
up,
Did
everybody?
Tatum
Yeah,
come
she
solo? He
said-
got an entourage.
Oh yeah, no, he came solo. You know, he didn't come. 50 ninjas deep.
Like Craig Black and them.
Man, Craig
just
Black
me.
came through with the organization. I was like, all right.
Y'all so St. Louis. I swear, man.
50 ninjas deep.
It's just me.
She says, my bro, then Tat Teasy.
Yeah. All nicknames out here. It's gonna flood if people keep listening. So
Trust me, they going to. So who came up with the Tat Teasy name?
my guys, they added Teasy towards probably not about 8 to 10 years ago, but Tat was always there because of Tatum, and they shortened it up a little bit for me. And when what's the movie that came out? Tat Tat Tat. What's Samuel L. Jackson? Boys in Men's Society. It might have been Men's Society, and when he was at the table before he shot the guy at the table.
Yeah.
He said tat tat tat. What the f, man? And then and so my guys ran with that. Man,
You don't have to use the censor button. You good.
so okay. So it's tat from there, So and then my guys just added Teasy to it. So it's all inside jokes, but it's all good.
Nice. Hey, Bunny, and you can attest to this. We came across some guests who've had some crazy nicknames. Welcome to the club, man. Welcome to the club. And once again, this is the Platform Sports Talk Show. Go ahead and hit that like button, that share, retweet, do all that fun stuff because it is official. It's going down. We here with the Jayson Tatum. It's very cool because I met this guy at a Live by Lowe's event. Dirty Muggs was there.
Yep.
And I saw you, and I'm just that kind of person in my life where I don't want to have no regrets on not being, upfront. Like, hey, this is who I am. This is what I do. I'd love to have you on.
Yep.
Some people may be like, "No, I'm good. You gotta pay me." So whatever. But my thing is, I don't want to be like that guy. Like, man, Stan, I saw so and so at this event, and I didn't say nothing. I'm like, no, the worst they can say is no. You move on.
Right.
But for you to say, hey, get at me.
Yeah.
And you came through, so definitely thank you once again,
All good, man. I love to support the hometown however I can in a positive way. So, if it makes sense, makes time, I'll be there.
That's what's up, man. So let's go and get right into it, man. People are looking forward to hearing your story and everything, so let's get right into it. Stan, you want to go ahead and do the honors?
Yes, Coach, welcome. When we bring on our guests, we always have to ask them that first question. So our question to you, Coach, is, can you tell us the moment that you first fell in love with sports?
Definitely at a young age, Stan. It was my mom was single mother, so she had to find me to put something in. She was Army, raised, and she was a teacher, a principal, and so she had to find some activities for me, and so she put me in track first.
Okay.
And so I started to run track and play baseball a little bit, just to stay active, and so I won't be so bad around the house or in the neighborhood. And so that's probably around about, I'm gonna say about 7 or 8. I started to be active in sports, and I started to fall in love with it. But I didn't fall in love with basketball until about 8th grade, or start playing basketball until about 8th grade.
So what was that first sport that you played?
First sport was really, honestly, track. It went track, football, and baseball. And so I was that all the way, playing those sports all the way up until 8th grade. I didn't touch a basketball until 8th grade.
That's crazy, ain't it?
Yeah, so I didn't know when my knees started hurting from running track. I started getting taller.
Like, oh no, hold on.
Yeah, they started throwing curveballs and pitching. I couldn't hit the fastball no more, and my line wouldn't block no more in football.
Oh yeah.
So I was like,
tragic.
let me figure this on out. And
That's tragic.
Got tired of hitting that grass a lot, huh?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So I was going the wrong direction. But
He like, this can't be life.
nah, definitely not.
Right, like,
So
hold on now. I signed up for all
Bro, they
this
getting
now.
bigger, fam.
I
Man.
had to
Help
keep moving.
He
So
said 8th
basketball was
grade,
the
he touched
next.
the basketball for the first time. So then, was that when you had your growth spurt?
Yeah, and no, I was getting taller. I was taller than most of my classmates, majority all through school. But it was when my knees started hurting. They told me I had the Osgood slaughter, and it was like you have a growing disease, and so that means you're just growing rapidly. And when I did have a growth spurt from 7th to 9th and 10th grade, that's when I was starting to transition to basketball. So there was no more, running and getting hit by big old linemen and things like that, and I couldn't hit that changeup no more and that curveball. So it was like, let me get out of this one.
Got you. Oh man. So getting to basketball, who would you say were some of your influences in regards to maybe players around you, NBA stars that you wanted to hone your game under when you started learning about the game of basketball?
Well, when I would start playing, clearly Michael Jordan,
Smart man.
was the everything. But I was more of a looking at the intangibles of the Scottie Pippens, the role players of that team. So I mean, I've learned the tradition ways of watching the Bulls do their thing. And as far as home, it was just going to make sure being active around and seeing some of the top high schools around, like the Vashons, before I even got into high school and things like that. But I grew up in Jennings, and Kelly Thames and all those guys were, guys I looked up to and got a chance to play pickup ball with when I was in, 7th, 8th grade going into there. So those were some of my, idols and guys coming on up, or got situations I got a chance to be in to give me some drive in basketball.
Nice. Any brothers and sisters that you that was playing along with you?
My sister was she was what 5 years younger than me. Yeah, she wasn't messing with basketball until later. But she eventually played. But I was always got put in grown men leagues, and my mom kept putting me in finding different teams for me to play for, and I was able to be blessed by the time I was going into my freshman year in high school. People don't understand, I went to Cardinal Ritter my freshman year.
Wow.
I went to Cardinal Ritter for a whole freshman year, and couldn't focus on girls and basketball and basketball and books and girls all at the same time, so something had to give.
He went, hey,
So he had to go to the
you know
all
what?
boys
That's
school.
genius.
Yeah.
That's genius. Get your
Right.
focus on.
So I got out of there. I was around with Jahadi White, Lauren Woods, Chris Carrawell.
Wow.
I was part of those guys and got a chance to watch those guys as well, dominate when they was playing. And so went over to CBC after that. But I played before then. I played AAU, got a chance to play AAU with the Eagles when I was after my freshman year. And so I just started to challenge myself more and more in basketball and started and I said, hey, this thing might, pay for my college one day. And so I just stuck with it.
So as you were starting to develop your skills, like you said, you're starting to see, wait a minute, I can see something happening. Did you have someone like a specific coach that you always was being taught in regards to learning the game, or just something that you just kind of gradually learned on your own?
A little bit of both, man, but I didn't have one particular person. I had different varieties of coaches coming on up, and I'm blessed for every one of them because I learned something from them and, gained and got strength and confidence in each one. But it wasn't one that kind of stuck with me all the way through because I started late. I started really like at the end of my 8th grade year going into high school. So I was not messing with that until then. And then I was a late bloomer playing. And so and that was one, we could talk about Jason later, but that was one thing that I was an inside guy. So, I wasn't all about the skills and things like that because I was comfortable getting rebounds, playing defense, dunking the ball. I'm fine with that. Everybody else can do what they need to do, So as I got older, clearly the game evolved and I learned more about what I could have done. But no, at that time I was fine with that. And so I never really had a consistent, male mentor coach from on up because I started late. I was either my AAU coaches or my high school coaches.
Right.
I got a question.
Uh-huh.
Back during your high school days, what was that one team that, throughout your time at CBC, you saw them on the schedule that it's like, oh, yeah, we got to beat these guys?
It's always the MCC at that time, man.
Country Day.
Yeah. Well, no. Our conference.
No. That's
Our
right.
conference.
Okay,
Our
my
conference is the MCC. So we played the Chaminade and the Smets all the time. But when my era, it was the Smet because they had Matt Boniak, Adam Losey, a lot of big time name guys that was on our AAU team, and they were. And then we also played Webster, and so that had a Johnny Parker and Tate Decker and all those guys.
God, does no one like Webster?
Yeah.
I hate Webster.
So those are the two teams that we consistently played, or either met them in districts or something like that, where the gyms was just packed, consistently, man. And it was tough to get in those games back then, but it was real fun to play.
Yeah, I'm glad that you already brought it up because I was going to ask you what made you go to CBC, but it makes sense now. The focus and everything.
Yeah, the focus and everything, man. And it was the best move I made, So, and now I'm back there working there. It's a brotherhood. It was, if I would have known or suck it up the first time to went there my freshman year, God knows what, what could have happened. But, everybody's story is different. I'm glad I made it.
So, first day at CBC, how long did it take for you to get acclimated to that school? Was that school at the time already known as a basketball powerhouse before you arrived, or were you one of the ones that helped to build that respect?
Larry was there at that time, and they wasn't. And Derek Thomas was the coach, and they had a guy named Keith Hibbler who was really good, but they couldn't really get over the hump. So, adding somebody like myself, and we had another guy named Marcus Allen who transferred in from Ridner at the same time, would just enhanced our team much more. But to answer your first question, how long it took me to get acclimated, it took me a while, man, to go from an all-black school to all white, all boys.
Culture change.
Yeah,
too.
and it was, and I'm raised in Jennings my whole life, and so. I disliked my mom, her decision to make me go over there. We had beef for a while. Not long though, but but she didn't want me to. I mean, I did not want to go there, period. And so, but when I got there, how we watch the movies, 3 o'clock high, stuff like that. You see 2 black kids on a movie and all white people, and they get poked at throwing some paper. I'm like, I'm skating through the halls waiting for somebody, to say boy or whatever. And so, but it wasn't like that.
Try me. Just say
real.
one thing.
You just gotta be ready. Like, man,
it was different. So I was, I came in there an angry black kid, not accepting what it was going to be able to do for me at first. And so when the culture wasn't like that, the kids weren't like that, when the teachers weren't like that, the brothers at that time, they accepted, because it was at Clayton. It wasn't in where it's at now.
Exactly.
It was at Clayton. And so it was
By the Esquire.
By the Esquire.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. Wait a minute.
Yep.
You didn't know that?
Whoa. Wait. Hold on. What?
Across from St. Mary's Hospital.
Yeah. That was CBC High School, man.
Yep.
For that was the second one, because the first one got burned down, in like the early 1900s, and this one was the second one, and now this one where we at, this is the third one. So
Okay.
yeah, that's the one I graduated from. That's the one everybody claims from 05 on down, but it was tough, man. Walking through the halls, but everybody accepted me. You know, they embraced me. The teachers, you know, helped me with my flaws in the classes, and you know, I had a couple. It was probably about 12 black people at that time in that school, you know, and 0 black teachers, but it wasn't kind of what we portrayed on TV. You know, it was really actually brotherhood, and then after probably about 3 to 4 or 5 months, man, I fell in love with it, got focused, and was doing my thing from there.
How special is Larry Hughes?
Oh man, unbelievable. I mean, then and even now what he's doing in the community, but then back then, as far as a player, you know, I was in awe being on the court with him. I had to make sure I had to, you know, like,
Right.
this is my guy, this is my teammate. I can't be, you know, watching him play and do everything and not, you know, participate. But he was special, man. He was special. And I mean, I remember the time he told me he was, you know, enter the draft. We was sitting out over not too far around this way, because he used to live over in Ferguson area, and we was outside, and you know, he was saying he was finna go take that next step and provide for his family, and just to hear, you know, your close friend say that, and that was big. You know, he was special. So you know, it was definitely a talent.
Then, as we said before, we had Coach Ryan Johnson on the show, and because I went to the V, and I graduated in 2000, so I played with Joe Sheldon and you know, all them. And I would say, man, every weekend we was out of town somewhere, taking planes, bus rides. Felt like we was like rock stars.
Right.
And I asked Ryan Johnson at that time, did it feel the same way when y'all was at y'all peak at CBC? And he was like, man, it was just unbelievable. So just from your experience during that time at CBC, getting known, having all these big time, I'm pretty sure I had about 2 or 3, 4, 5-star athletes playing.
Yeah.
So just describe to the people from your point of view, your time at CBC. Did it feel like y'all was just superstars when y'all was out on the road or just anywhere?
Funny thing you say that. Our senior year, you know, we didn't want a home game. We did not want one home game. We wanted to go to everybody's gym and do what we needed to do. Just because we know we had that type of team, and we actually had it our junior and senior year. We blew a state championship our junior year because our coach left to go. He got hired at SLU, Derek Thomas, to kind of recruit me and Larry. And so when he left that junior year, you know, we had an assistant, you know, who wasn't ready to handle the magnitude of the team he had, and we were still immature and, you know, wasn't playing or practicing up to our potential, and got to Webster and they beat us in the district championship. But the next year, coming on back, we wanted to make sure we wanted to go at everybody's place and play them because they had girls and we needed to see some girls, right? 'Cause, you know, just jumping and playing in front of our guys every time was, you know, it got boring after a little bit. But no, we wanted to go. You know, we knew that senior class that year, because our Eagles team went 51-6 and won the AAU Nationals. And we wanted to go play all our teammates because we knew their team was either good, they had 1 or 2 guys on each one, or at least stellar guys. So, but going, and we couldn't get the V on there. You know, that was the one where we couldn't get on there, and we were supposed to meet them in the championship.
I was about to bring it up because I had to ask Ryan Johnson the same question because we all at state, and the V was 1 game away from meeting y'all.
Yeah.
And I was there as a youngster, and I was like, man, look at Larry and Justin, man, like, that squad. I'm like, man, it would just be amazing to see y'all height, y'all style of play compared to the V.
Yeah.
And we just came up short. That's one of my biggest. Well, it wasn't like I did it.
Yeah.
But I hated that St. Louis or the state of Missouri couldn't experience seeing Larry Hughes, yourself.
Yep, Lamont Bonner, all them guys.
Exactly,
that had
Rudy,
all them.
all them.
They was loaded. We was cheering for them, man, to win that game. We couldn't believe that they lost. If we would have played them, you know, probably not one soul would have been in St. Louis. They all would have been up in Columbia watching that game. We would have packed it on out. I'm not sure if you remember that Riverview game that was at UMSL when we played Riverview for
Oh man.
the Final Four, and that's something that's on YouTube that still gets hits like every day. I mean, the way, I don't know if you remember UMSL Gym, but
Oh, yeah.
there wasn't a standing room.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can't move. You couldn't get a fly in there. And us to play Riverview and Larry Go scores 40 or 43 points that game to come back and beat Riverview. I mean, that was just just to let you know the magnitude of our team. And we played Cardinal Ritter our junior year, Chris Kerrwell, Long Woods. But then people don't know that Larry got kicked out the game before. He got 2 technical fouls the game before first dismissed. And when I tell you the technical fouls were extremely terrible.
Oh yeah.
And so, if you get 2, you can play the next game. And our next game was Cardinal Ritter at UMSL. And so I had to go against Chris Kerrwell, Long Woods. We didn't win that game, but it was, we wanted to play everybody, and everybody who was somebody that year don't make no difference, and we got a chance to. But those years was fun, man. It was good basketball back then.
So, was there ever any interest in CBC trying to schedule the V?
Yeah, we did. We called for Floyd said no.
What?
Yeah, either his schedule was full or he didn't. And we said we'll come down there, and it didn't work. We wanted to play him. We called everybody, went in Bob McCormick's office and said, hey, call Hazelwood Central, call Hazelwood East, call everybody that has somebody. We have to come there. We don't want to play no road, no home games besides our conference because we have to play at home and away. And, he didn't they didn't accept it, but, for whatever reason. But we was cheering for them to win that Final Four game because they would have played us in the championship. We stayed the whole time. We was pissed off.
Wow. That's amazing. This is the Platform Sports Talk Show. I am your boy Smoooth, along with...
And I'm standing, baby.
Bunny will be back soon, and we also have special guest.
Justin Tatum.
There it is. See, he ready. No
Pow,
rehearsal.
like clockwork.
He used to this, man. He true to it, baby. Once again, go ahead and hit that like, hit that share, the retweets, all that good stuff. Bring them comments in. I know you got a question for them or want to bring up anything, stories, or just showing some love. Let this opportunity be it right now on the Platform Sports Talk Show. So, state championships.
Yep.
How many during high school?
One personally as a player, one as a coach at Soldan, one as a coach at CBC High School.
Okay.
What year is so now?
2012. We went 3 years in a row. I had probably the best team in the state for the last 3 years. We went to state 3 years in a row. Took third twice.
This just got personal.
What's happening?
This just got personal. 2012. I can't remember what high school we played at, but dear God, U City right against Soldan, first round. Ooh, we got our ass kicked, boy. Let me tell you something.
Play Jennings.
Was that the high school? No, it wasn't at Jennings.
You said
It was first round of the playoffs.
First round of the playoffs.
That
after districts.
After districts.
Okay,
yeah.
So we was at Parkway North.
There we go.
Parkway
There
North.
we go.
Okay.
That was my first time out there. We in that gym.
Yes, I
we
remember.
deep. We pulled within two, boy. Then that was it. We pulled within two. That was like, all right, y'all had y'all fun. It was like, whoa, hey, yo, what are y'all doing? Fuck.
Yeah, that team was unstoppable. That was determined, blessed team.
We know. I know. Damn it.
He said, I don't even know what mine is. So, with y'all just having one state championship, do you feel like you won one, but it should have been more with what y'all had?
Here at CBC, or as a player
As a player at CBC.
For sure, we should have had it our junior year as well. Like I said, we just didn't. Our head coach, our igniter, our guy went to do better things, which was fine, and we just didn't understand that, and we wasn't mentally tough enough to, say, hey, we still got to go, because that was actually our best team our junior year, because we had some really good seniors on that team that was understood their role, knew what they needed to do, but we wasn't mature enough as players to get over that hump. And so, yes, we should have had two our junior and senior year, but we ended up getting that one.
So, Bunny, I know you love to ask the question about recruiting, so I'll let you go ahead and handle that.
Who, me? I asked about recruiting. Why would I care about that? Everything is not based off that movie.
Some kind of movie.
Oh dear Lord, again.
We definitely talking about
Justin.
high school. We don't use recruiting in high school. I can't use that
no,
word.
well, we talking about that kind of
We
recruitment.
not talking. Yeah.
Okay.
We're talking about for you can recruit to go to college.
Okay, gotcha. There we go. I'm with you.
Now, I look. I'm not trying to get anybody red tape. No, no red flags investigation. I ain't talking about that. I'm just saying for the recruiting process of a high schooler going to college, and you get the campus tour. You get the hey, we can send you letters in the mail when you get to campus to get the tour while you get recruited. What's the environment like? What's quote unquote thrown at you? I'm just curious. I'm not an athlete like that. I've never had that opportunity. I just see stuff on the movie.
Right.
I just want to know if it's true. That's all.
She didn't see Jesus Shuttleworth for a little
Exactly.
That's the one movie you need to see.
I'm just saying. I don't
Everybody wanted to go to college after that.
bit. So your initial question is, how is it like to be recruited, basically, from a Division I college?
Division One,
Yeah.
or if Division
Well,
Two hit you up too as well. You
Yeah,
didn't have
'cause I
social
mean-
media back then, so
Yeah, they each college, well, each level has different ways, well, money basically, to be able to do what they want to do. But Division One, when you do your official visits, you get 5 official visits as an athlete. That's where the college get a chance to pay for you to come up there, you and your family, and wine and dine you and show you the campus. The other ones are unofficial visits. If you do unofficial visits, you and your family are taking yourselves up there on your own, paying for your hotel room. They might provide a ticket to the football game or basketball game, wherever you go see. But the official visits, you get 48 hours, to hang out with the players and do the things similar like what you might have seen on the movie. But not all the cases is that they do. They find ways to wow you in a way that where it's legal. Then after that, there's closed doors and closed curtains. I mean, stuff happens, but they do everything that they can, put you in nice hotels, feed you good food. They, take you to expensive restaurants, maybe pick you up in a limo from the airport, anything that they can do to kind of sell you to come to their school. So you can't, you take pictures and stuff in their uniforms or dribble on their court, but you can't take nothing home. Unless you purchase something from the store or things like that. NCAA is very tight, but it's, you get 5 of those. And so, if you want to go through 5 different, states or different places to be wine and dine, so be it. So kids get burnt out because they have a schedule for you from 8 o'clock in the morning to 8 o'clock in the evening, and they don't miss a beat. And so if it's not everything that and there's a lot of that stuff is about the books and academics of the school as well. So there's going to be a lot of stuff the kids don't really be interested in doing. But if you want to go on this official visit that we paying for, that you coming on our dime, you going on this thing. But most times the kids get a chance to go with the current players to hang out at night, and then you'll see your kid maybe in the morning or by 10, 11 o'clock the next day, and from then on, things are sealed. But it's pretty cool, man. But you get right now these. And you can have 5 officials, and you can have as many unofficial as you want. So, it depends on what type of family you are, what you're really trying to get out of it, or if you know what you want already. So a lot of these kids and family has a lot of decisions to do or, to make before they go to college. And that's why sometimes you see a lot of transfers.
How many offers did you get, and then what made you decide to choose SLU?
Oh man, I got a ton of them. The ones I narrowed it down to was SLU, Oklahoma State, Cincinnati. Those are the ones I would decide to go to. Oh well, I narrowed it down, but I mean I had them from all over. From high majors to mid majors. So, but they knew. But I wanted to stick close to around home. But I was really going to go to Oklahoma State. Eddie Sutton was the coach there that came in, did a home visit. I checked them out down there. But me and Larry was sitting at the table and talking, and we got to saying, what if we change the culture or the morale if we stay home? That was always a what if, and so he knew he wasn't going to be in school long, so, I wanted to find a way to, stay here and build my name here and, get my degree from SLU. So it made sense. And so when we came and, a couple other hometown guys came and, it was just no brainer from there.
So let me ask you this: did your mom? You said she's influential and helping raising you and stuff. So did she go to every visit with you? And was she one of the deciding factors on what college you chose, which was SLU?
She went to a couple, but she was just leaving everything in my hands, and you know, she was very spiritual, and she definitely just said, hey, we're gonna pray on it, make sure, you know, go where you feel comfortable at. And so it didn't make a difference where I was at. I know right when I went to SLU, I moved down there, out to the apartments down there where we can stay in, you know, and it was good to have a home cooked meal and get a chance to go wash your clothes here and there. And you didn't have to grow up too fast, but you was able to grow up a little bit here and there. So, but she was very supportive, but it was all my call.
Nice. A few comments from Bunny's brother, Stanley, says...
you gotta say Bunny's brother. I went to Lincoln like that. People used to do that at Lincoln all the time anyway.
He says Cardinal Ritter, I guess because he went to Cardinal Ritter, so he's representing for Cardinal Ritter, because I don't know if you heard him earlier, Bunny, but Justin went to Cardinal Ritter for 1 year.
My sister's in the same class as you. Suzanne Goodwin, Coach Goodwin.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's what she told me.
Okay.
I was an unofficial Ritter critter. I used to go to all of y'all games. Well, when you left, I was still going to see Lauren and Chris and all that.
Yeah, that was an exciting group. Love that. I love that school.
Yeah, with some greasy fries in the hallway, you into that building. Anyway, Thekla was a whole nother.
Thekla. Hey, just saying Thekla, he's like, woo.
Right.
Then he also says, I remember that Cardinal Ritter CBC game. My father said, damn, more people here for a high school game than UMSL games.
When we played it recently?
No, during the time that you played.
Back when I was there.
Back when I was there. Okay. Yeah. When we played them at that time at UMSL. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was unbelievable. Like I said, we packed that whole place, and everybody did not know Larry wasn't playing until he showed up. You know, we tried to fight the state and try to fight the technical. Did everything we could, because if we would have had him, we would have had a really better chance of winning, or maybe won the game.
Yeah. Then he also says, I guess, in regard to the recruiting process, that it gives you good women.
Coming from an all-boys school, shoot, Justin. I'm just saying, bro.
Yeah. Like Jesus shutting them.
I ain't gonna compare that he got game, because
gotta spread my wings, man. I've seen too many hard legs.
We wasn't short of women at CBC, man. The girls like coming to our games, supporting us a little bit. So it was just being around the boys from 8 to God knows how long, to 5 or 6 after practice.
So like, what is like the sister school of CBC, if there is one?
Back then, I think it was St. Joe,
okay.
But I'm not sure if there's really one considered a sister school now. They just all find a way to be in the same class, and they communicate that way if we do parties or something like that. But but it's just the tradition still continues. I mean, once we have games or have something sporting events, those those schools, those young ladies, they like, let's go see them guys in purple and gold.
Mm-hmm.
So hey, we just couldn't wait for the game. So we like to come to. We knew a lot of those kids couldn't make it to our school, so that's why we wanted to make sure we go to the Hazelwood East and Hazelwood Central, because the game right after school.
Y'all gonna see us.
Right.
Ladies, here we come. Okay, coming in, shirts off. Game ain't even started yet, shirts off.
Doing too much.
Yeah,
tattoos showing, we ready.
Got cheerleaders from the other school cheering for them. Like, wait,
exactly.
What?
That's exactly how it was. The other school cheerleaders and everybody was cheering for us.
Hey, what y'all doing?
Yeah. We packed their gyms. We made sure we packed their gyms. Like, y'all know, we told the other team, they're not here for y'all.
So pretty much, once y'all got acclimated, y'all pretty much didn't have any fear, no matter who y'all played. No. It was like, we're gonna beat you. It didn't matter.
Yeah.
Like, whether it was in state or if y'all had games out of state.
Yeah, that's our mentality. I mean, we played some of the best players in that before the last couple of summers in AAU with the St. Louis Eagles. So guys at home, we was lunch meat. There was just no way that we're gonna play to your level. So allow you to play. Once you feel that you're playing to our level, we're gonna dominate you even more. So it was like we just had just a kill mentality the whole time.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. So high school gone, great years. Now you go to SLU. You and Larry Hughes stay at home, and I know Anthony Bonner went there. He went to the V, of course, for those who didn't know. But it feels like to me as well, like the impact you made in SLU, at CBC, was a similar impact that you and Larry brought to St. Louis University as well. It was a team that was, people love basketball here in St. Louis, but seeing Larry come in and yourself And who else on the team? I'm trying to think of other names right now.
Who was that? John Redden was there,
Yeah.
Jamal Walker. But people don't understand, man, but you probably don't know that I never played with Larry in college. I never played with him. I sat out. I had to sit out. I had to sit out my first year for the fact that
Did you? Your freshman year?
Yep, my freshman year, it was a whole situation I had to take to the NCAA to the court.
Wow.
So I had to sit out my first year, and after that, he was gone.
He was gone.
Yeah, he was gone. So that's
Right,
but we was one of the highly anticipated recruiting class to come to SLU, and unfortunately, the NCAA, halted my path for the first year.
And I'm pretty sure that's something that still bites you to this day, because y'all had the opportunity. Because I think y'all went to the first round against UMass,
Yeah,
right?
against UMass.
Yeah,
Yep,
the first year, Larry took them all the way in the big dance, and then first round lost against you. No, y'all beat UMass, didn't y'all? Or y'all lost to
We
them?
beat to UMass,
Yeah,
and
but then the
lost
second
to
round y'all
Kentucky.
lost. Okay.
Yeah.
But it just
See
would have
why I
been
said
that much
NCAA, the
special.
cartel. That's that trigger word for me. You see?
Right, yeah, it is. You see, like a vein,
Honey, oh my
pop
goodness.
out every time someone says NCAA. Just like she just get
Man.
enraged. But cause they always stop good thing because they be in their feelings, in their fifis, as I like to say. But
Exactly. Look, cartel. That's why it's coming down.
yeah, but yeah, I mean, it could have been extra special to be able to
Yeah.
play with him.
Oh yeah, for sure. We was gonna do some special things, but I mean, it doesn't really bite me anymore because I can explain. I mean, my story is very influential to my players, and so I told them and expressed to them what my freshman year, at Cardinal Ritter, how I didn't take books seriously. I was taking girls and basketball seriously, and my grades wasn't to where they were at. And it didn't, and it did not. It took forever for me to get them on up. And so when I got, had to take the test and things like that, my score had to be a little bit higher than everybody else. And so I used that story, what I had to go through, and I don't want none of my players or anybody that I can, give my story to have that feeling, something taken away from them that they worked so hard for to get to, and just because they didn't take their school or whatever serious enough to, get their grades together. So. But it doesn't bother me anymore because I mean I'm gonna say it was supposed to happen to me so I can come back here now and save as many young men as I can. So
Right.
If I would have went, I probably wouldn't have cared if a young man or noticed when somebody, if I was a coach, or how to relate to him about getting his grades up or give him a story that he can feed off of and respect to get his stuff together and not follow the path that I went, because I probably would have I don't know how to relate that part to you, but I can now. I can do best of both worlds. So, it was a blessing, man, and a curse. But now I can see what it means to everybody else.
Did you have a question?
I did not. I'm still sitting over here just realizing, it was you.
Like, you're the
did it.
reason.
All right. Well, nah. If
Still
you
on
ask
that,
anybody,
wow.
if you ask
30
anybody in
minutes
high
later,
school,
really?
we blame it on the head coach. He was like, man, you threw that game. Why you put him in there? He was playing trash all game.
Stan,
Put him right back
you
in.
acting like a female right now. You
Hey,
know, female.
hey,
You know how we all
No
let stuff
fee-fees
go
here.
30 minutes later, 3 days
Hey,
later,
this
3
is
years
news
later.
to me.
That's what you're doing.
Okay, this is news to me. This is fresh.
It don't
Let me
matter.
have
You
this.
still act like a female.
I'll be
Y'all
good
talk about
tomorrow,
doing
but right
that
now,
stuff
this is
all the time.
Hey, buddy, it's so fresh. He gotta lick it out the pot like what a man.
Where did this
Right.
go, Smooth? Where did this go?
You gotta say, wait a minute, let me stir it up.
Dude, get out your feelings. Get out. Man, you
Where
don't
did
get
this
over
go?
that.
We
boy.
just poured it out into the strainer. The pot's still hot. Like, give it a minute. Give it a minute. It's off the eye, right? It's off the eye, so it ain't still got an active fire, but it's a little hot. It's a little hot. It's
man.
cooling down though. It's cooling down.
I'm too hot. God, let me stop.
He's
So
still, he be all right.
What?
Hey, Justin. Oh, I'm sorry. What did they call you, Coach J? Coach T? What they call
Coach Tat.
Coach Tat.
you? Coach Tat.
Yeah.
I meant to ask this earlier, Coach Tat, with the recruiting visits. Are you glad that y'all didn't have social media back then?
Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. I mean, I tell the kids now it's a blessing and curse right now for them because it can help them or it can hurt them. And a lot of them are not using it wisely or understanding what their platform, how to use it. And
Right.
some of them just banking off using it for them to be better in whatever sport or whatever they're trying to do. And that's not it either. You know, you have to work for what you want. But I wish we could have had it back then as well because, our mentality, not knowing, what the millennials are doing now with it, our mentality probably been different with it. It would have probably been the chance to posted positivity about what we're trying to do, or just we wasn't going to try to sit up there and really freely say what we want to say or go show what we're doing actually off court. So, but it is what it is. But I'm glad we didn't have it, But I don't think it would have hurt us. But right now, with some of these kids and these, what it's used for now is not always helpful.
So you were saying earlier how you and Larry Hughes pretty much knew it was probably like a one and done for him.
Mm-hmm.
After your career at CBC going to SLU, did you have that same aspiration? Maybe not after 1 year, but did you have those same aspirations as I'm going pro as well?
Yeah, for sure. That's all we talked about, the lunch table, man, when we was at CBC, who's going, what we going to do, things like that. Not always understood there was only 400 of them guys in the world, that's on that team, or, you have to do a lot of special stuff to, be there. That wasn't, we was just bypass that.
Mm-hmm.
We was just dreaming what we wanted to do. But we always wanted to get paid for playing the game, though. No matter what it was, when I started to get in my sophomore, junior year and understand that overseas was an option, playing for a traveling team was an option or something like that, to find a way to get some type of revenue. Because if you knew that, I've been to a couple of Larry's workouts when he was with the Wizards, or when he got drafted with Philly and things like that, and seen what they went through and really seen how good those guys was, and then reality kick in, like, I might not be able to play with this boy big, and so but I want to get paid playing this game, so I started to find ways and study like how to get overseas or how to do this or what country or whatever the case may be when I was about a sophomore. But by that time, that guy you want to talk about soon, he was already in the making, so it had to be something to start paying some type of bill, because he, the way he was growing and doing what he did, Daddy had to bring something home,
So it was that moment in which you were like, okay, I had aspirations going into the NBA, but after working out with Larry Hughes and seeing what he was doing, you was like, okay, maybe some other options, alternative options instead, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Because, the thing is, we got a chance. We go to Chicago. We went to Chicago for a couple of years and went to Tim Grover, who was Michael Jordan's trainer. And they had pickup games, and of Michael Finley, Big Dog, Dwayne Wade, MJ. Everybody was there, and so. And mainly for a lot of the guys from Chicago as well. So we'll go and play those pickup games, and you'll hold your own here, but you'll see why they those guys. They're why they get paid, and so. Just to going through those workouts kept, my admiration and everything for me to, like, if NBA is not for me, this next level. If that next level is not for me, I know something's for me, because, A, I can hold my own here, not B, but this might not be my home, So just me being around that kept me engaged and pushing to say, hey, Justin, you're going to get paid playing this game one day. Just stick with it.
Nice. So how would you say your overall experience at SLU was?
It was good. It was good. It was definitely ups and downs. I had different coaches, Spoonhour and Romar, and that was a different swing for me, because Spoonhour knew and recruited me since I was a sophomore in high school. Romar did not know me when he got there, and I'm a junior now in college, and somebody come from the West Coast to St. Louis with his whole, he had Cameron Dolly. Remember Cameron Dolly played for UCLA?
Yeah.
He was on his staff, and, he bring his whole West Coast staff. And so, he had his feel and had his understanding of what he wanted from his players, and some of us wasn't in the mix. And so to answer the recruiting question as well, but for when a change of coaches come, he can be disengaged with you as well. That whole staff, they can kindly shove you on out to where they know that and when you ask for a release, they'll gladly give it to you, and so it was coming. So because these guys' jobs on the line, and you get that scholarship is every year. I know they say 4 years, but you can breach something in that contract, or they can make you feel some type of way to get you out of there. But the experience with Romar was up and down. But the thing is, you guys might not know that Romar, our senior year, so I graduated within 4 years, and so I got my extra year back. So going into my senior year, we were besides this last team, a SLU team, we were the only team that won the conference tournament. I don't know if you remember when Kenyon Martin broke his leg.
Yeah,
that was
I recall
against
that
us.
game. Yeah, I recall that. I saw that game.
That was against us, and so that was the time that we were like the 9th or 10th going in there, and DePaul with Quentin Richardson and Lance Simmons and Bobby Simmons and all those guys, and then Cincinnati had Kenyon Martin, DeMar Johnson. Man, they had some killers on that team. But for us to win 4 games straight and win the conference, and
no one saw that coming.
No one saw it coming, But Romar got us together. We got to believe. I mean, he was good for us at the end. Where we didn't like him in the beginning, or some of us didn't agree for everything. But he molded us, and I still talk to him to this day. And I seen him actually when Jayson got drafted. He was with Markelle Fultz because he coached him. We seen each other at the draft, and I made sure I told him thank you because even though I was probably a little shit in the beginning, but we had bumped our heads a lot. But I mean, I appreciate what you did, and so it's tough for males or anybody to recognize that at that time.
Right.
A lot of my players come back and say that to me now. I didn't know what you were saying, or why you sit up there and isolate or cussed me out or did this, or why you consistently did it. But thank you, and to hear that, that's like. To go back a little bit, that's bigger than a state championship for me. And people don't understand that's, you won this, you won that. Yeah, but when my kids come back to my gym, my open gym, and talk to my kids that I'm coaching now, and and it's a lot of them. It's just not one or your best one or the one you was nice to. It's the one that didn't get off the bench. It's the one that didn't go get a basketball scholarship. They stuck with me for 4 years. So that's the thing that I enjoy more than winning chips is to hear and see my players come back, and give back. So I give that to the Romars and all those guys that I was able to be coached by.
So after you were done with SLU, what was your next move?
The crazy thing is, when I was done with SLU, so going into my senior year of SLU, I was finna go back. Like I said, I got that 4th year. If you graduate within 4 years and after you prop the first year, they'll give NCAA, give it back to you. And so in that summer of me going back to SLU for my senior year after I graduated, or had one class to graduate, I was in the best shape of my life and playing in a Bonner Pro-Am League. And so I had I think Lil J was, you'll hear me call him Lil J sometimes. I don't really call him Jayson. So I had
him.
he was probably about 8 or 9 years old, man, watching me play in the Bonner League. He used to always love coming and watching. Like I said, he was a gym rat. And he'll come in there, and I was on a fast break, and I was finna dunk the ball, man. And as I finna dunk the ball, my knee snapped in half. And I thought I was by myself, and I turned around, and nobody was near me, So then I looked down at my knee, and my knee was swelling up by about the size of my head. And then I straightened it out, and I instantly started screaming. So long story short, I broke my kneecap and ruptured my patellar tendon. And this was me going into my senior year that they giving back to me. I'm thinking that I'm finna come back and better than ever, give myself a shot to do whatever. And so still started my first semester at SLU. They were saying we're optimistic about you coming back playing, but I'm working my butt off anyway. So probably about January or February, I'm trying to get back in shape. I re-ruptured it in rehab. And so as I re-ruptured it in rehab again, I had to have another surgery. And so after that surgery, this is all, weighing on your conscience. This is a major surgery. Right. This is not nothing. Let me just come in and do whatever. This is open you wide open, and you're not walking for 2 months, type ordeal. And so I'm still fighting, still thinking, and McKendree College opened up. I was trying to go use I had a year left, and I was trying to use it somewhere. And McKendree College offered me a scholarship, and I had a semester. I had a class left. I took it over there, and my knee was probably about 60%. But I'm working because, you only have a small window to do what you need to do.
Right.
And my goals and aspirations is still get paid playing this game. And so I'm doing my best to rehab and, play. And so we helped, long story short, I helped the team to the Final Four in the NAIA. They'd never done that before. and we lost to a team there. And after that, I got a chance to I graduated from SLU with my criminal justice degree, and then I went into try to play for this Nike team, traveling team, because I've been used the whole summer to kind of keep building my muscles up in my leg. As if you played on a Nike traveling team, you get enough film for yourself, and you can shop yourself overseas. And so when you're with the Nike traveling team, I played teams like Villanova, Kansas, because you're that exhibition game that they played early on. And so it was a lot of us former players, Jim Boshi, a lot of other guys from different places trying to, get on at that time. And we played and traveled for about 2 weeks. And when I played there and when I got my tape, I got a chance to, shop it around a little bit, doing my work, and went overseas to Amsterdam. And I played in Holland for 2.5 years and played in different leagues over there while I was there. And then as I'm over there, Jason came and visited me one time, but then while I was over there, his mom called me like, I got all these coaches and all these people who want to coach them or want to train them. She doesn't, know who to trust or have time to do whatever. And guess what I did? I said, I accomplished my goal. My goal was to get paid playing this game. I got 2 years worth of checks, but there's somebody back at home that needs me more. Yeah. And so that's when I went back and started coaching him when he was, from, I don't know, 5 or 6 years old on up. And
so you would say he was that reason why you got into coaching?
Yes. Yep. And my time, and the other reason was me being overseas. We had a lot of downtime. And so we only played 1 game a week. And
wow.
Yeah, so the rest of the time was trained, and I got a chance to be active in the community. They spoke English as their second language, so I went to go help coach little league teams that they had in the gym before us. And so that was the first time I was ever being introduced to coaching. It was being around them. And when I got home, he was, I built all my teams and stuff around him, and so that made it even easier. So yes, he was the major factor for me to coach, but I kind of got the bug when I was over there.
Nice.
Well, if nobody's ever told you this, Coach Pat, I commend you for giving your time that you could have played more basketball to invest in your son.
Thank you.
There's other coaches that have done it as well, but you also hear no stories where there are men, fathers that don't do that. They'll still put themselves first for their child.
No, I appreciate it.
Shout out to you for doing that.
Thank you. Appreciate it. It was well worth it.
Yeah, we definitely see it.
I think that's a safe thing to say.
Right.
I don't think anybody be like,
wait a minute.
His
sacrifice definitely paid off.
No, wait a minute. I don't know about that. Amsterdam could have been the thing.
I could have been the man in Amsterdam.
They coming back over here being a little, whatever language they speak over there.
They would have seen him instead of
doing that, and then I do basketball coaching later.
Yeah. Yeah, it was nice over there. I mean, it was pretty. I mean, it was, people were kind. I mean, France was close, Germany was close. We'll train an hour ride away. So I mean, got a chance to experience a little bit of the world while I was over there too. So and now my oldest experienced way more than me. So, but it was good to, he got a chance to come over there and see me play.
Mm-hmm.
Stay the week for me and see what Dad does, and just to give him more drive. And so everything I could, I got a chance to, show him the way to go, and he took it like a sponge.
And Bunny, she's a mother of one and one on the way,
one in the possible.
Right.
Congratulations.
I have a.
Thank you. It ain't no possible. It's a definite.
Like a game of spades.
Right.
One of the.
Right. I have a almost 6-year-old and also a almost 20-year-old. Mm-hmm. So I know days where I'm not with them, it'd be like,
Yeah.
So I know it had to be hell for you going overseas and you're not around your son.
Yeah, it was tough. It was tough. I mean, every day he'll tell you how many days you got until you come home, because it was like, every day we talk. So that was probably the toughest thing. And just, we still talk basketball. We still make sure school and everything. The hours difference was tough. I either had to be up early or late, to get a chance to talk to him. But, and all that played a factor, because his voice was like my strength, what I mean? And I'm like, I'm telling you, I'm doing this for you to show you don't ever give up and quit on your dreams,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to make sure that he understood that, even though it's not at the level that coaching to get into, but he was like, I never seen that my dad, shut down. So why do I need to or give up? And even through all the injuries for me and him, seeing me injure myself and and doing it again, and still have that fight to get through what I wanted, do what I wanted to do. So it was tough, man. But I mean, it worked out. I had strong family members at home. My mom and them make sure he was good. His mom was great. So it all worked out. But just being away from your ace, your buddy, your best friend, it wasn't easy.
So, what was your first coaching spot? Was it Soldan or was it a different school?
It was actually my alma mater, CBC.
Okay.
I got back, and Bob McCormick, I was doing some subbing stuff in the city, and then Bob McCormick gave me a chance to, sit on his staff in 06. Yep, 06, 07, and learned a lot from him because he was my former coach. But I learned a lot that he should have done differently, or what I would have done differently. And I'm like, man, I want my own team. I want my own whatever. And so that summer, Soldan opened up, and Dr. Kason, who is a former alumni of SLU, gave me a chance to interview, and I went in there, and he was going to give me the job, and he was like, I have no expectations of the team, and type of things. I was like, well, I do. So, it's going to be differently. He was just like, you just want to make sure, keep them in order, and this, not really win games, So got a chance in Soldan 07, 08. We did, we split. I think we went 500, lost in the second game of districts. And then from then on out, had every had a 25-20 winning season, and we was rolling. Went to state 3 years in a row, like I said, and won once, and that's Soldan Standout.
Damn, we would have won, ain't that, man? Oh my God!
Oh, here you go.
This is all new to me, Bunny. Chill, jeez.
Oh man, bro, you killing me.
I was there 6 years. We got hired in CBC in 2013. So, but Soldan, that's my heart, man. I see my Soldan kids, and like I said, those kids are doing, young adults. They're doing great now. Like, I mean, it's just a blessing to see. But that Soldan broke me in,
So tell us that feeling that you had when you realizing that you're about to be a state champion head coach.
The first time, I was like, about time, because I got to the finish line
So many times.
I couldn't get over. Borgia just put a dagger in me every year. But the time that I did, the expression I had, the feeling that I had is undescribable. The tears of joy that I finally fell down my face was just, like I just doubted myself sometimes, but I never wanted to see my players see that. But it was a fact of, a feeling of showing these inner city kids, showing these kids that just go through so much struggle or not, or just have doubts in other ways, win something. They dominated the city for 3 to 4 years. I mean, they were the talk of the town, and for them, and that school had nothing but enjoyment and positivity. And just to see a lot of those kids, and because of basketball, just to see a lot of those kids grow out of that, like I said, that's almost more to me winning the state title. Feel better than me winning the state title.
And I'm sure during that time, y'all was probably the only school, if it wasn't the V, the only school from the PHL to
only school. Yeah, we was the only
state.
one. Yeah, we was it. That was it. The V, died down until Tony got back.
Right.
So we was it, and and the city and Dr. Kelvin Adams, everybody enjoyed it, loved it, because we were, getting recognized from City Hall in Jeff City, and publicly, getting the news and the cameras there. So it was great, to have a lot of positivity coming to the city at that time.
Did you feel at that time that y'all was getting that national love too?
No, we didn't have a national player type like that. We had a lot of good chemistry kids and kids that knew what to do to win games. Now, did we play similar, national schedules here and there, national other teams? Yep, either won some or lost them here and there, but we didn't have a team or a player to get of that caliber to get that type of attention.
And then
let me ask you this, Coach Tack.
Go ahead.
The player that you were back in college and the coach that you are now, what is one of the biggest differences you see from being a player and being a coach?
My patience. my patience, and I had to learn to get that because I thought when my first couple of years as a coach, I thought I was a damn player. I'm just saying and doing whatever, and you have to, my patience and maturity had to come swiftly, but that's I have to have patience because for the fact that I'm not playing, and some of these kids can't reiterate what I'm trying to tell them or what to do on this court, and I have to find ways to get them to do that and win a game. And so my patience was definitely is what's different, from a player to a coach.
Okay.
And then you go to CBC.
In 2013.
Take over. So tell us about that feeling of, man, I'm about to coach my alma mater and change the game.
Man, it was probably one of the happiest days, and for the fact of happiest days because shit, I wanted to. I felt that I did it all I can do at Sodan, and in that year my players left in 2012. I stayed 1 year extra after that, had a subpar season, and then got hired at CBC in 2013. And so when I got hired there, it was, the talk of the town was Jayson going to transfer. He just came off winning a gold medal in Greece for the 16U team as a 15-year-old, and he had a really stellar season at Chaminade his first year, taking them all the way. I think they won districts and lost in the sectionals or something like that. And the big talk was he transferring? His daddy got hired at CBC. Now is his son coming? Because they know I coached him his whole life. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I expected it. I wanted it. We needed it. That's what it was. But that was to go back to me being selfish, potentially, and not knowing that I have to figure out and ask what's best for him, and what has he's grown with these kids the last couple years because he went his 7th and 8th grade year at Chaminade and built that relationship with his teammates and did something special his freshman year. And, even though he was ready to roll and wanted to come, it was also a factor we had to put it in other people's hands of the state. You can't transfer from a private to a private unless it's an unforeseen circumstance. And yes, the unforeseen circumstance is his dad just got hired as the basketball coach / diversity director and, teach a couple classes. But, is that an unforeseen circumstance enough to let this kid be eligible to play? And, I can't tell that 6'9" light-skinned kid that he's going to sit out a year, and not potentially play varsity level. So, and he knew I did that, transferring over from Cardinal Ritter to CBC, and I told him how I felt about it. But, all in all, it came down to, just allowing him to, he only be in high school 3 more years. I want to be here as long as I can, help another kid, help a family. And so that was and we discussed and said, hey, you'll stay, and we made it that. But it was the toughest 3 years ever because I had to play you twice a year, and then I also have to play you to maybe go to the state championship or the Final Four every year. And so, we packed gyms. Every time we played, we couldn't even play at our schools no more. It had to be at Lindenwood. We don't even talk the day of the game. It was just, people don't understand the how tough it was on us because we were 2 hell of a competitors. We don't play around when when we do whatever. If it's playing cards or domino, I don't give a shit. We want to win. And so I don't talk to them on game days when I play them. And then the first time we see each other is when they announce their names, and he don't shake none of the coach's hand. He'll come right to me and we'll do our handshake and hug, and I tell him stay healthy and good seeing you. I ain't talk to you today, son, type shit. We know how it is, but he'll go out there and do his thing. I only beat him once, as you understand. And that was the year that we won state, and we won state 2000 when my first year there at CBC, and I only beat him once. And from then on out, he kicked my ass. I was average probably about 35, 10, and 10.
Like beat me once.
Yeah. So but it was those times was different, man. It was fun, But I'm glad he's gone now, and I don't have to worry about all NBA player, going against every night that I created, and then I have to sit up there and prep for, my kids are laughing at me when I finish, when we go over our scouting report. They was like, Coach, how weird does this feel? You up here telling us how to slow your
I was
son
just
down.
about to ask you that same question. Like, it had to be weird. Okay, so when you go right, you got to make sure you do this, but when you go, step back,
He gonna do this thing that I can't describe, but when he does it, get ready.
Yeah, his senior year, I just said we're not gonna worry about him. We're not gonna worry about him. We're just gonna focus on everybody else. If he scores 60, he scores 60. As long as we have 61, you know what I mean. It's just nothing else that we can do because he just worked so much on his craft. And we try to focus on other guys, but they had another pro in Tyler Cook.
Exactly.
They had Will Gladson, Mikey Lewis. They were good. So shit. And then they had Jason. So. It was a tough stretch, but now I'm getting my kickback now.
Right. Tell us that moment that you felt like I've made it. I've arrived as a coach. Just like you said, how when what you call it? Lil J, when you realized that he was needing a coach while you was overseas, and you said, what, I did what I had to do. Right. I made my money in regards to playing professionally, getting paid. When was that moment for you where you feel like this is why I'm here now as a coach? This is why I chose this route.
Man, I don't think I'm still there yet.
Wow.
I don't think I'm still there yet. I mean, I've won a lot of games. I've won a lot of district championships and whatever, and state titles here and there. But I think I haven't made it there. I mean, a lot of my kids have went on to college and graduated and came back, but. I don't think I hope I don't never reach that point because I think there's a lot more that I can do every day that I'm going to surprise myself. If it's me, taking all my kids home, I never done that before. Or if it's, me going to give somebody some different direction I've never done. So I don't know if I ever, reached it yet or I told myself that because the accolades, like I said, I'm not in it for. I'm in it for like trying to do something different to another young man or family that now I know I can sit up there and help and change. So it's still a lot more out there for me.
Nice. What they say with Nipsey? The marathon continues.
Yes, sir.
Keeps going.
Definitely do.
Man.
Do you see yourself trying to progress and take it to another level as far as you're doing high school ball here? But do you have aspirations to on a collegiate level or, minor leagues of basketball or overseas even coaching?
Not at this point in my life. I'm gonna say no because I maybe somebody hearing they might want to hire me as assistant coach. Then again, or a head coach. No, I'm very comfortable where I'm at right now as a coach and in life, being able to support. I have Jason, Jacob, and Caden, 23, 17, and 7. So, and the little one and the last of Mohicans is my everything. So I can't go and go into another state and recruit somebody else and be away from her. I'm being away from her right now too long right now, at this moment. So and I'm able to flexibly see my son play whenever I want to, and now my youngest son is going to go probably play college somewhere, and I'll be flexible to go see him, and still change lives at CBC. So I have my the flexibility to do what I need to do all that. So if I go and be once again selfish in so many ways, or try to go be a head coach somewhere, it's going to be a lot of people that miss out on my time and that in my presence that I'd rather stay back and do. So I'm good with high school. I'm good with high school right now. And people ask me, when you going to stop coaching high school? What else I'm going to do? What you want me to do? Like, man, you go travel the world, see your son. He's fine. He's fine. He's mature enough. He has his PR team, everybody team. He just need my love and support. And I don't need to be traveling different cities and states like that. And who needs me are these consistent families that keep coming in and day out, and all sometimes need their bubble burst, and to be humbled and bring themselves down, and some need to be encouraged more because they might have a diamond in the rough. Whatever I can do to be around to help. I definitely don't need to stop coaching and go retire and sit on the couch somewhere and do nothing. That's just not me.
And
you can also, you said what's next? You can also be a football coach.
Yeah.
I got a cousin at CBC. I'm just saying.
No, I had
know somebody.
I had my football coaching career cut short at Soda, and I had to do that for a year. And that's too many players. I can't do that many players. That's too many.
So just from one father to another, I'm sure you probably sit back, chill at your house, and just be like, man, how cool is it just to know that you have a son who's two-time NBA All-Star now, just won a gold medal. Shouts out to him. Being a force in the league, making money, living a life.
Yep.
How great just does it feel? It's just in general of what has happened to your son.
Man, it's unreal.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. Because you don't see these with our kind or know somebody or it happens to you. It's like hitting the lottery. You know what I mean? Winning the Mega Millions, you don't really see that often. But over the 3 to 4 years he's been in the league so far, I'm gonna say probably the most moment. I have two of them. One, when I was sitting in my bed watching, I watch all his games. I record them. Most times I do them standing up. Watch him standing up because I have to fuss at him if he's not doing enough. But this one particular game that was just this past season when they played the San Antonio Spurs, I'm sitting on my bed. They're getting their ass kicked by 30. It's terrible. And I'm just like, this is the worst ever. I'm flipping through the channels. And I was and I'm fussing at him because, like, how are y'all letting these guys do whatever? I'm just sitting in my bed watching. I'm just about to change channel for good. I said, I'm going to just watch this last quarter. It would hit one basket. He hit another one. And he just kept rolling. He scored 63 points that game, and they won. And probably about a minute or 2 minutes later, after they ran off the court, my phone rang and it was him. He normally waits probably about an hour after the media and everything like that.
After.
It was right after. It was him, and to hear him, our conversation and to have that was like, and to see him score 63 points because I was done watching. Like I normally 98% of the time I always watch the games, but when you're losing that bad, I'm done. I can find something else to do. And to see him go off to have that will to win and make those incredible shots, and just to see him and then to hear his voice on the other end, that was it for me. That was just almost the greatest feeling to see him getting drafted their draft night. But seeing him do that and hearing his voice after that, man, it was probably, as a dad, that was it. I can contest on here. I shedded a tear that day because I was by myself. Because to hear him, then to see that, and to know all the whole world and my phone blowing up and the tweets and things like that to respond to the positivity, that was unbelievable. So like I said, this is unreal. It's an unreal feeling. It's unbelievable. It's like hitting the lottery, and all I pray is for health for him and success because he's gonna figure out a way to get it done.
If you don't mind, take us through that draft night. Just all the hoopla and, how early did y'all know that he was going to be drafted by Boston?
Okay.
Everything.
Well, it was the whole atmosphere and everything was great. Just when we sitting at the tables, we're sitting at a table like this, and all the other families that's going to probably be the top 14 or top 20 players are sitting around. And it was me, my mom, my daughter, Jason, his mom, and her mom all sitting at the table, and me and Jason sitting next to each other. And they go with, we knew the picks already: Philly 1, Lakers 2, Celtics 3, so on, Suns 4. And so they already took Markelle, we knew that, and Lonzo, we knew that. And so the cameras, we see it before you guys see it. So the cameras will go to the table and sit there probably about 30 seconds or a minute before it comes on. And that's who you're going to. So after the after the second pick, the cameras went to Josh Jackson for the Celtics. And they stayed there the whole time. So Jason was like, damn, we going to Phoenix. I said, all right, we going in warm weather, all this, we cool. Phoenix, we going to be down there with D. Booker, and we going to be all right. We going to whoop. He said, man, I wish I would have, went third or, first or something like that. I said, man, we going to be fine anyway. We talking. And then go 10 seconds because we see the big clock, 9, 8. And then at 5, they ran to our table. and he grabbed my leg, and like when he grabbed my leg, he scared the hell out of me. I thought I got shot. He grabbed my leg, and I jumped too. And he was like, "We finna go to Boston." I'm like, "Yes, we are." And then like from then on, he was like, he got emotional, and he was so excited. I was excited for him, and like they fooled us. I don't know if they was doing that on purpose or whatever the case may be, but just to see the excitement out of him, that he made it to part of his dream is to make it. The rest is to knock the door down. To see that your kid just woosah after all the hours of work and all, cussed out by his dads and choked up by me, all type of stuff. Whatever I had to do to get him to play, I seen it all come out that day. And we'll see my kid walk across and shake, not David Stern, it's
Adam Silver.
Adam Silver, hand, and it was unbelievable, man. So. And that whole day was great. We was all smiles.
Man, that's incredible.
I was going to ask you, taking a step back, when you said that first year you won a state championship, or at least I got 4, that's when only time you beat Jayson. When did you finally realize, like, yeah, this dude got it? Like, he definitely is going to go far. Like, when did you see the evolution finally, like, all come together for Jayson's game?
To make it to the league?
Yes, sir.
When he was 15 years old, he made the 16U USA team, under 16 USA team. And so when they took us parents in that room, and before they made the selection of the team, they said, "Hey, if you're in here, your kid is either he's either going to make this team. If he makes this team, you're 1 foot into the NBA. No, point blank, period. He's going to be 1 foot. He's going to get enough tries, enough whatever to, because he's on their radar now." And so at that time, and then when he got selected, him and Harry Giles were the only 2 youngest kids on the 16U team. They was playing up. And from that time, I knew that if we stay on this path, if he keeps staying hungry, he's going to be able to have a chance to make it to the league. I don't know if he's going to be 3 or 33, if it was 1 year or 2 year. But they told us, they said, when you make it on this team, that you are 1 foot in the league. And that was from then on out. When he was 15 years old, I probably knew that he was destined to make it. But to do what he's doing now is a different question and a different story.
So, of course, with him being in the league, he's around so many other superstars and celebrities, the whole nine. Have you had that encounter of meeting Michael Jordan and also Kobe Bryant?
Have I personally had it? Yeah, I met Mike before. I met Mike before before Jayson got to the NBA, and Kobe as well. But after, since now Jayson works for Kobe, I got a chance to. Mike, I got a chance to meet him. I'm in awe every time. I tell Jay, I cringe. I'm like, that's who the hell that is,
right.
Right. So shit.
I pass out. I ain't even gonna.
I told him too. Like this is my guy. Jayson knows that too. He was like, man, you work for my guy. I love that, man. So, but just I got a chance to meet them, and I've known LeBron before Jayson got into the league, but some of the guys now, the Donovan Mitchells, the Devin Bookers, and things like that. They young good group. I got a chance to meet a lot of those, but I'm only starstruck to the ones that I know coming on up.
Right.
But the KD, that's my guy. I commend that's God given talent, but I'm taking pictures with the MJs, the Scotties, and the guys that I came up with. But it's getting a chance to meet all these young talent and being around them. They just normal people, but it's good to see get a chance to see some of these guys off the court.
And just seeing your son battling, like you said, against the LeBrons and KDs and Giannis's now, I had to bring up this memory when Tatum dunked on LeBron.
Bro, what the hell, Smooth? Like, man, forget it. I ain't got no questions.
When he dunked,
I ain't got no questions. I ain't got no questions. I don't even care.
I took it from you.
I ain't got no questions.
I took it from you.
I ain't got no
Your
questions.
feelings all
I ain't
night.
got no questions.
Just stay in there.
I ain't got no questions.
Take it out. Just stay
I
in
ain't
there.
got no questions. I ain't got no questions.
Sheesh.
When that moment happened, man, what was your reaction?
I threw my St. Louis hat almost to the floor because I was there. I was there, and he turned the corner and he dunked the ball on him, and I jumped up as everybody else. I had a hat and I threw it. I just, I mean, it was excited. Like I had to go all the way down to go get it after a while. But I got that poster hanging up in my room. I mean, my house. I mean, it's huge. It was personally painted. And as soon as you walk in, you can see it. I mean, it's detailed vividly. You can see Paul Pierce and them in the background cheering for him in the crowd. It was beautiful. But the chest bump afterwards is probably letting know that, you know, that light-skinned kid ain't no punk out there. Like, he's here. So, like, I laugh at that more than anything. You know, anybody gonna get dunked on, you know, and you dunk on certain, you know, LeBron been dunked on many times, but LeBron ain't been chest bumped.
Not like that.
Afterwards. So, you know, he still talk about to this day when I see him here and there, man, but it's all fun and games, though.
Nice. One of our the most faithful follower of our show, Miss Williams. She just logged in. She says your son still had to work hard for it. So props to you for staying focused on this dream.
Thank you, Miss Williams. I appreciate it. Yeah, it was. It wasn't easy. You know, it wasn't easy. Me and Jason went through some battles. Some people know, some people don't. And I mean, it'd be him to let you know which ones he wouldn't tell you about. Which one not? You know, like I said, I was a young dad. I had him at 18. We're a week apart. His birthday is on the 3rd. I'm on the 10th of March. So, like, you know, I was just turning 19. You know, you don't be a dad at 18, 19. You don't know what you're doing, especially if you haven't had one in your life. So, but I just knew I wasn't, you know, I was going to be there for him every day and support whatever he wanted to do, and never had let him have the feeling that I had of the emptiness of not having that manhood void filled in me. So, and I make sure that none of my kids have that. So with him, you know, we like two peas in a pod, and so you can see the way he is with his kid now, and that's kind of how me and he, you know, we were coming on up. But just to support him and get him through, because he wasn't just an exceptional basketball player. People don't understand, that man was a killer in baseball. Football was unbelievable. Play with the U City Lions in U City. I mean, that won multiple Super Bowl little Super Bowl things that they did. Like, he played it all. Like, you know, he can understand. He picked it all. But I just told him after 8th grade, you either got to pick a sport, and we know what it was. You know, and so we stopped all the other stuff after that. But just to stay with it and support his goal, that was my main vision from the jump, and make sure that he knew all the ins and out about his goal. It just wasn't the fame of the cars and the money that you can make. It's, we did, how we're talking now. When he was probably 10 or 11 years old, I, put a mic next to him. Let's interview me, respond more. This is how you got to look at me while you talk. Or, don't look like, chew gum. Don't do none of those things. So we practice a lot of other stuff besides putting that ball in the hole. How to carry yourself. Make sure your shirt's tucked in. Don't sag here. We can't use certain language out in public. When you're around your boys, talk how you want. Know what you're doing. Mm-hmm. So when you see him, just nonchalant, not nonchalant, but just a kill demeanor, just even kill. That is, like, just, he's trying to make sure that, he's not going to mess up his image at any chance, right. If he could.
And then going back to you coaching currently at CBC, would you say right now Caleb Love has been like your most prized prospect since you've been over there?
For sure, yeah. Caleb is, man, he McDonald's All-American, Jordan Classic. Like, he had all the accolades. Unfortunately, COVID took it down. We was going to win
Y'all
state.
Was there, yeah.
We was going to win the state that year, and he deserved and was going to need it. He could have had it. But for 4 years, he was and I had him for all 4 years, my most well-accomplished player so far. And it's still, the sky's the limit for him.
Yeah. Do y'all still keep in contact?
Oh, yeah. He was just in the gym with us last Tuesday and Wednesday for pickups when he was here. I think he just went back this weekend, or this past weekend. But, yeah, we still stay in touch. We text all the time. I mean, I was positively in his ear during the course of his season when, he was having up and downs, spells and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, Caleb is my guy. I love him to death.
And going into this upcoming season, what should people be expecting from a CBC coach-led team?
Well, I mean, I'm going to be humble about it because, I mean, people are going to say that, he has a lot more than what he's pumping up. I have kids that probably went to state or played in, big time games. I mean, when I mean my seniors, I have probably about 8 or 9 of them that's coming back that have played in high magnitude games. And now we just got a kid. He named John Boyle. He's a 7'2".
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah. So
You said 7'2"?
Yeah, he's 7'2". He's a sophomore, promising talent, and we got a slew full of freshmen. So my open gyms today I have a lot of really talented, promising, prospects, and they're going to go different ways. But I got to find a way to gel them together and put it together. So I'm gonna be humble about it. I have a very talented potential team. I'm gonna say that.
And
so you're stacked with a whole bunch of seniors and a whole bunch of freshmen. I mean, you probably got JV and varsity.
No, I have my freshman. I won't have a freshman that touch my team. I have 5 programs: 2 freshmen, a sophomore, a JV, and a varsity, and I have 15 kids on each. I have probably about 65 to 70 kids come out for my freshman team every year. It's close to about 40 or 45 for my sophomores and things like that. I'm blessed to have that many potential talented kids or families that want their kids to play for me. There's only one ball out there. I do what I can do. Right. But no, I have I have a ton of seniors coming back, but I have a strong junior class, and I have 4 really talented sophomores that's going to probably play varsity, and then I have some freshmen that's going to probably play up sophomore. I have a 6'10" freshman that just came here too. So I have some kids over there, and the open gym today was pretty exciting to watch. Yeah. So, but like I said, I have some work to do, and this is part of me having so much talent. Why I said I haven't reached my peak of my coaching. I got to figure out how to do this. This is different for me to have so many talented pieces. You can normally have 4 or 5 good kids. Some people only have 4 or 5. Some people only have 1, if that. But in high school I probably have 3 to 4, but now I have up to probably about 15 to 18 kids that will start any other high school in the state of Missouri. They will start for their team, and I got to find a way to get them together. So,
but just FYI, Coach, you said earlier you football too many kids, but you just listed like 70, so you got it in you.
Yeah, I got it.
But I gotta
make cuts. Like that's separate. That's separate things. Football, they all right.
Yeah, football you can't cut.
I know, but I just don't want him to lose sight. He just has another call, and he may not realize years from now. I'm just saying. You heard it here first.
Definitely, we want to keep 15.
It's like you got to cut from that one group. It ain't like, well, let me move you over here. Ain't no over here. Over here is not on the team. Like,
but in high school though, y'all still play both sides of the ball sometimes, right? For football, right?
Not in CBC. We have 99 kids out there, so they don't play both sides. You play offense, you play offense. You play kickoff, you play kickoff. That's those. It might be one kid that you might use here and there, but he don't. We find a way to take care of their bodies and understand that we don't have to overload a kid on every possession or out there on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Okay. Okay, thanks for clarification. Just in case, 20 years from now, you never know.
20 years from now, run this clip back, and you're going to be like, she called it.
Yeah, she called it.
So,
little old bunny, what would she know, right? I don't play football.
Right. Say, who am I?
I don't know about X's and O's. What?
So, what would you say is your thoughts of the St. Louis basketball scene now? Because I know it's just been, like, I'm sure people are saying now to this day that maybe your son could be the best, or he's already the best the best professional player ever from St. Louis. But what's your thoughts now on just the scene of St. Louis basketball as a whole now?
It's on fire, man. It's on fire, and it's keep getting better. If these parents and these kids understand what it takes, and I said that I keep trying to tell them, don't come out here to try to make the NBA. Don't try to come out here and work on some of the stuff that you see these guys who wake up 8 in the morning and go to sleep. That's their job. You come out here and find the other intangibles of this game, what it can do for you and how it can help you. And I think a majority of these kids and these parents have been understanding that and getting them to practice on time, telling them, hey, we're not going to transfer, or don't whine about somebody taking your spot. You go back there and compete for what you know, and show them good sportsmanship. And that's why a lot of these high schools have a lot of talent. We were normally used to one kid or two kids that's pretty good. We go see one or two. Now we go see a whole team. With good chemistry. Now we have, if you understand, majority of our coaches that's in St. Louis are black. On the basketball end. And so that's another big thing, and that's why I say it's on fire, because now they're really getting high-level teaching from guys who put the work in, and now it's taking it serious and giving back to these kids. So that's another reason why I feel that it's on fire, and it's going to do nothing but get better. And these kids have Jason and Brad, and other guys that have made it. Even the Tyler Cooks, I say, hey, these guys got different paths, and they're finding a way to still be, still make it.
Ben McLemore,
Ben,
the guy who won with Golden State, then
Pat McCaw.
So it's more than just one way to get there. So definitely appreciate you saying that.
Yeah.
Should high schools in Missouri have shot clocks?
Ben should have shot clocks. I hate that they don't. And it's just we're backwards. We're dinosaurs, and I mean it's just it makes sense. They want we watch the college with the 30-second shot clock. We watch how the game is much more better played, and teams have a chance to either come back and win or blow a lead or whatever the case may be. But it's not sitting up there watching a minute and a half go off just because of you don't want to work with your kids in the fall or the summer and to get them better, or you complain about you don't have the lack of talent or whatever the case may be. Holding the ball doesn't have nothing to do with lack of talent, or not playing a game at a pace as it should be. So we definitely should be having a shot clock. And having it, it's not, you're going to be like, what's the difference? It's not really going to be a difference until it's down to the crunch time, to the last 3 to 5 minutes, because these kids can't hold water. They're definitely not going to hold it for 2 to 3 pass to rotate the ball to the other side, until it comes down to the end. And so I can't wait. I want to stick around until they get it, so it'd be exciting to, be able to coach in it, but, we should have been had it.
So we just had the NBA Summer League just wrapped up. We kind of talked about it just a little bit earlier. I love it. It showcases, of course, for coaches and scouts, etc. But for the fans, just seeing these guys who just got drafted 1 week ago, then going to the league. I know Jason, he was part of it when he did it. Have you been to some games?
I don't watch nothing unless he plays.
Okay.
Great answer.
Thank you for your honesty.
I don't watch nothing unless he plays. I mean, it's tough. I mean, I might watch a quarter or something, or see a Jalen Green do something, but I don't lock in. And but unless he plays them, but Summer League is important. When I experienced it with Larry and Jason, it's very important for their growth and get understanding of the dynamics of what their coaching is going to ask of them. But I don't like people like you seen this kid, you seen that kid. I don't. I only see mines. So. But I mean that's just how I am. But I do love the game. I mean I love what it provides. But I'm locked in on one.
What are your thoughts of the upcoming NBA season with Boston?
Man, they get on my nerves. Man, I'll be brutally honest. I tell him, Lil J this too. I get on my nerves. We need somebody. We need. Schroeder is. I'm not knocking him. I mean, I wish he would have. He probably wish he would have got his paper in L.A. instead of doing what he did now. But we need somebody. I mean we got the new black coach. Well, he's solid. I like him. You know what I mean. But we need another star-studded guy. We should have got James Harden when we could have had a chance last.
We tried to get KD.
Yeah, we tried. We should have, but they were. Boston is kind of. Potentially they just like, we gonna figure it out on our own, what we got type of deal. But we need more because we're not in the conversations of nothing right now. And I know Jason and Jalen can do a lot. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry. I was gonna ask or make a statement, being as you saying brutally honest. I think when they had the what's his name? Kyrie, Tatum, Jalen, Kemba, and all that. And it still seemed like they couldn't gel. The chemistry couldn't get it together. And I'm like, well, it's so much talent. What is the issue? And with Kyrie being the veteran, and you got these younger boys that are great at their craft or really good at their craft, what was the issue? Kyrie left, bringing in what's his name, and still, I'm trying to figure out what is it still. Like you said, they could have Harden or somebody else, but it's still something else because I don't get with all this talent. Why are they playing only 500 ball?
Right.
And and again, Steven's coach is different now. Of course, he got a new coach now. Hopefully, he does better. But still, coaching is not going to fix everything on the court. So, what is the one piece? And you don't say a player, but what is it? They need to stretch for what?
Yeah, I'm with you. They do. They were really good when Al Horford was there. They need I know now he's back.
Right.
But I mean,
he's older though.
Yeah, he's older. He's declining. And I didn't at that time. I don't think Kyrie was ready to lead. He was ready to show the world that he can win without LeBron
But he's no leader
and not really lead what he had. So that messed him up. And them young guys with Jayson and Jalen and Scary Terry at that time, they was ready to produce and show. And someone was on contract years. But right now, I feel that they do need a better PG, a stretch four, and some shooters. We need a vet. Like we need somebody. They got young guys like Robert Williams who's coming, but they don't have no inside presence of a post guy. They can pop inside and out. And Jayson and Jalen, they're gonna do their thing. That's 25 on both ends. But then there's 40 more points that need to be put out there, and we need to know where we're coming from. And once my son got double teamed, probably one of the third most highest in the league last year. And so, you got to pass somebody who's going to make shots, so we can't pass. I mean, the little guy that just played in the summer league, the white kid. Like, we can't keep passing to him. And Fourier, he gone. He wasn't making no shots while he was here.
Sure wasn't.
I love Marcus Smart to death. Marcus Smart going to give you what he going to give you, but it ain't always consistent.
He ain't that dude.
Yeah, so it's I hope they they need another star-studded guy who can understand that it's the Jayson and Jalen show, but will come in there and do their thing when they need to. So we missed on Drew Holiday from Milwaukee. We didn't bag him. That would have been a good solid pickup for us, but I just don't want them to think that those two are going to do it all and put so much pressure on them to where they double team, triple team all night and they get worn down early.
Have you had a chance?
I don't want it to be just a 500 team because it seemed like they barely got into the playoffs last year, and then they didn't even last long.
Right.
Steven's first time he's at the helm of being GM now. I just hope out there somebody's in his ear guiding him correctly to make another move.
Head coach to GM. That's that
there it is.
It
was like one day the season end, next day I'm taking your job, Danny.
Yeah.
I was in my feelings about that. We had the show the next after that happened. I just couldn't believe it. I'm like, why he automatically get it? We just talking about racial diversity with the coaches on the sideline, and front office is still lacking enough blacks, and he automatically got it. Like, he probably did.
That's that cigar room. That's playing golf. That was already done.
Do you still feel?
I know, but that's still some BS.
Do you still feel like the organization still doesn't know which person is the guy in Boston between Tatum and?
They know. They know. And there's no knock to JB because JB is great, man. He's going and I love his game. He's gonna get better. But they know to where it's not because of it's like Jayson understanding the game. You can put him at the 1, 2, 3, or the 4. You can't put Jalen at the 1, 2, or 4, or the 5. And ask him to almost get you a triple-double and to find guys early. Jalen is a scorer and a high-level athlete, and a hell of a competitor. So, but, for him to see things happening before or as it happens or maybe before it happens, he hasn't shown that consistently. And so, when you got a 6'9" guy like Jayson who's going to go in there and rebound or guard a big real quick or point guard and make, high-level threes or tough shots and wants to do it, be mad, and then if he missed one, he ain't gonna miss two, So you know it, they do, but they know that they can build off each other and play with each other, which they can. So they just don't. They're not gonna sit up there and probably promote it as much, but they know.
Have you had a chance to hold the gold medal yet?
No, I'm actually going to see him tomorrow. He's in L.A. now, so I get a chance to hopefully – he hasn't been back home since he came from Tokyo, so I'll get a chance to hopefully touch it a little bit, see how it feels.
How nervous were you, because we all know how everything was going in Tokyo with the pandemic and everything. How nervous were you for his well-being, being out there?
I felt that he was going to be – fine and safe security-wise or just health-wise because he doesn't really put himself in situations to, not to or not. He doesn't heighten it any. So, and the USA did a great job of, doing everything, having a personal chef from Detroit to, cook all their food so they didn't have none of the normal stuff that, the country that feeds them and stuff like that. So they were comfortable as possible. And no fans being in there. So, I mean, nothing too drastic was going to happen. And so, but I just prayed that he just, stayed healthy, because you're doing this for free. You're playing for your country for free. You're not getting whatever your check is on the 1st and 15th.
What is something about his game that you feel he still needs more work on?
Probably his catch and shoot three. He has to get his feet together or being able to, play off the dribble with his three-pointer. He's not like you'll see a Klay Thompson or Steph Curry catch and fire that thing and turn around like I know his bucket. That's something that is going to evolve in his game. Ain't nothing, it's not hurting him that he's not, but I told him I like to see him catch and shoot the ball instead of catching and getting his feet together a little bit. But besides that, I'm a pet peeve. I'm a thorn in his ass. There's nothing he can do that, everything he does satisfies me. But as we talk about it, he was like, damn, I had a 60-point game and you found out I got 3 turnovers or I should have passed here. But yeah. I don't shut up about that, but
that's what coaches and parents do. What about the time you had so go past you?
Turnover,
You had Patty Mills pass you up after you had whatever.
Right, exactly. So you missed the defense assignment, and he was like, "All right, yep, okay, bye."
Dang.
We can talk about that tomorrow.
Right.
So my last question is: we know now that we have the name, image, likeness taken over. Something that you would have loved to have had during your time at SLU. What are your thoughts on that? I know you said you got some incredible players coming up. I know recently there was a couple seniors in high school, in basketball, that foregone their senior season so they can go ahead and reclassify now and make money. What's the pros and cons, should I say, of this NIL?
The cons are if you're a high-profile person and player that has the great chance of making it, past some of your peers, that you will water down your likeness or your opportunities to maybe get another deal that's bigger than what you got. So you might tie yourself into something a little bit longer, or water you down, or take a deal that is not really attractive, or maybe is not doing that well, and then you're still attached to it, affiliated somehow when you make it to the big place. So some of these kids that need to be just mindful of the things that they sign, the money that they can get, who they're representing, and what for. And if, like I said, if Jayson was they had at this time, he wasn't going to do lock in on some water company from St. Louis or something that whatever for 2 years. You know what I mean? And now we 3rd pick and we still down here with the water company. No, we're not doing that. So we'll take if Apple wanted to sit up there and say we'll give you this, we know Apple is big. After we get out of here, we show you some love now on cut price. Then I know we're gonna talk bigger deals when I make it. So it's just the understanding of some of these kids, but it's also great for the ones that that A ain't finna make it to the league, B ain't finna make it, just finna get their scholarship. I mean their piece of paper, their degree, and be gone with it. And why not? in the neighborhood gonna give you $50,000 to show up to something or whatever the case may be to help you, keep rolling. So it just, like I said, it depends. You just can't take every deal that comes to you or think every deal is great. But if you are one of those in-betweeners and you get something good, they keep food on the table, go ahead.
But the deals he's getting right now, something like straight out of 2K. I saw him. He got the Jordan deal, of course. Saw him on the Gatorade commercial.
Yeah.
Saw him on the Beats commercial. I was like, God, that's
Subway.
everywhere. Subway, yeah. I ain't been to Subway in so long.
Ruffled chips. You got the Ruffles chips, man. He's working, man. And so, like, that's what.
It's the Flaming Hot joint.
Yeah.
Saw a bag of those today. I was like,
got him in my car.
Should have brought him inside. It could have been so. Justin.
now you know they would have picked up in the microphone smooth. Come on.
Right. I mean, that they heard us eating, smacking before. They'd be all right.
Don't just read the contract.
Right. So, going back to the name, image, likeness, like for instance, LaMelo Ball said that yesterday. You kind of added on a little bit more today since everybody was, tripping off what he said. But he said recently that people are not really tripping off for school. We not dumb. We know how to learn. We don't need school, and school not even teaching you shit. What the F is school?
Right.
Let me rephrase. School's not for everybody. Now, if you want to be a doctor, you better take the ass to school. But bottom line, he's saying a lot of things that a lot of other players aren't going to say up front.
Right.
Being in college for a year ain't going to wait to do anything for me.
Right.
That's my thing. My only concern about the name, image, likeness is that will these players focus more on money more than even their game? Definitely not school, but will they focus more on money than focus on their game?
More of them probably will focus on the money than their game, and those are the ones that won't really get too much further than that money. So it's more of them going to really start seeking and trying to find a deal than getting their butt in their gym or working and watching some film or whatever the case may be, and that's unfortunate. That's what's going to come with it. A lot of those kids feel that they are on a LaMelo Ball likeness or the Jasons or whomever, and not understanding that if he hasn't hit you now or you haven't got too much attention to go that direction, it might not be for you. Take advantage what's there for you, but still use that as a crutch or something else to do what you like to do outside of basketball. Like, that ball is going to stop no matter what. For everybody that you see, for no matter what, Father Time has, undefeated. So what else can you do? Because there's only 400 of them guys there. Those guys are there for a reason. The people that select them are for a reason. It's 400 million y'all trying to play to get there.
Oh, someone trying to take your spot.
Yeah. So, do not go in there and, just chase the money. Work on your game because the money's going to be there if you're supposed to have it.
And I will say this, though, with the NIL and LaMelo's comments, like you said, Smooth, some people want to say that, but they won't. Now, I do get kind of what he's saying, because you got to think about it. Take the athletic side out of it. How many people go to college to say, I'm going to college? They want to go to college to what? Earn money, right? It's hand in hand. Go to college, hopefully get a degree to earn money. So when the NBDL or G League formed, how they had a lot of those one and done players that weren't making it to the league and they couldn't go back to college, so they try to help them out. And now some people are using that as an opportunity, go to the G League without going to college still to make their money. And we're just looking at basketball because other sports have their other ways too. But I don't knock it. It's gonna be, like you said, some people that slip through the cracks that don't make a wise decision. But take the athletic side out of it, they would make that decision anyway. It's a lot of kids that we know that y'all have coached or been around, your kids' friends, that they didn't go to college and still made bad decisions.
Yeah.
And there's no athletics out of it and not a lot of money involved. So I think it's just more on a bigger platform where people seeing like, oh, this person may make a little money, they may not. But it's going to happen either way because, you're dealing with kids still 18 to 22-year-olds, young and dumb stage. They're going to make mistakes. They're not going to read the contract. They're not going to have the right people in their corner. But athletics out of it, we have kids down the street and around the corner doing the same thing, making bad mistakes and bad decisions, thinking they chasing money, and they're not getting it right. And then, that messes up their life if they choose the wrong path, end up doing time. They got to fix their life. I just say that to tell people, it's gonna be somebody or some people who's making the right decision and it works out for them, and some that make the wrong decision. And you just gotta live and learn from it. And hopefully, you teach the next person behind you don't make the same mistake you did, but you won't cost your life or, cost somebody else's life off a bad decision making.
With you, yep.
That's it.
Preach, Bunny.
Whatever.
And now we will pass around the collection plate.
Oh boy, you gonna go somewhere.
Preach. Miss Williams says going to college doesn't always lead to a big salary. You still have to hunt for opportunity.
True.
Yeah.
People got a degree, and it's like, I got a degree.
Yeah.
Right. And they've been dead for years, they're still struggling. Got 2 degrees sometimes and still struggling. So the name, image, likeness, some people gonna come out on top, some are not. But I equate it to how many people are in college on academic scholarships who still go get a job at a restaurant. You don't stop them from making money, and they on academic scholarships. So why stop a college player from making money?
Exactly.
That's because he's an athlete.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
And
You got kids that get paid internships, so somebody else is paying them, and they still on a college scholarship.
Yeah, and they use these people's jerseys to be in the local places with their numbers, maybe not their names on the back, but that kid out there is representing that number at that time, and you selling that jersey in that store, and he gets nothing.
Ben Wallace.
So
Right. But that's why I said the name is like this. I know it's gonna be something that fall through the cracks, but if people earning their money, that is not right. That is free slavery. No. I'm tired. If I said NCAA is the cartel, I'm tired of them.
See, there we go. That vein popping out, y'all.
That vein.
See,
There
it is.
Every time.
It's coming out. But speaking of coming out, man, thank you for coming out to the show, man.
I appreciate you guys having me. I've been good. It's been good talks. I mean, I thank you for everything that you guys do, and I've heard you guys talk about the sports and everything, and I'm glad a chance to make it.
Oh yeah, most definitely, man.
Appreciate you. Look, you
everyone
sponsors in
give
your busy schedule, so we thank you.
Yes, everyone give an emoji, show some love to our special guest, none other than Jayson Tatum. I'm gonna go ahead and walk him out. In the same token, I'm gonna have Stan and Bunny take over just for a minute as we bring in our baseball and hockey insider, Joe. She should be on in a moment, so I'm gonna go ahead and leave for a second, be right back, and let everybody else
All right, Bunny, thanks for having me. See
do
you.
their thing.
See you, Stan.
All right, Coach
Nice
Ted.
having you.
Take it easy. Stan,
Yo.
I said stay in your feelings because you've been in your feelings so much tonight, bruh. IJS. Just stay there.
I'm just tripping off of this IJS. IJS. I don't know what any of that means.
We want to say WTH. Why you in your feelings? Let me keep saying that. WTH. Keep saying in your feelings.
Okay.
Let me switch it up. I got some more text talk.
What else you got? Let's see what else you got here.
I mean, I can keep saying LOL at you because you still in your feelings. I can keep LOL on you.
Well, we can talk about this baseball game going on right now. Bottom of the 7th. The Cardinals are up 3-2. It's been a shaky game for them. It's been a few errors. Once Joe comes on in, we'll be able to discuss that. Bunny, how you feeling over there? You feeling good? You feeling great?
I'm feeling fat, but other than that, I want this Cardinals to pull out this win. We are only 4.5 games behind the second wild card spot. We need every dub.
Definitely do. And it's
mid-August, man. The hunt. Let's go, y'all. Let's do this.
It's definitely getting closer. We are a month away from all of the fun, and then we'll be 2 months away from the, what do they call that? The Fall Classic.
The Fall Classic. Okay, but how about this? So I was reading this article on, of course, ESPN. I forgot who it was who gave the input about how to help baseball be with today's times.
Yes.
And basically how to speed up the game. We've talked about this a couple of times. Like, in basketball, Smoooth asked, a lot of coaches, should there be a shot clock in high school? Well, in MLB, on a major league level, they don't have a pitch clock, and they do. But on the minor leagues, they do.
I mean,
Major league needs to get a pitch clock.
A pitch clock would definitely help. You see how it goes in the minors with the pitch clock. I believe it's something. I don't know when, but I believe it's something that they'll adapt. Just as I'm hopeful, like we talk about when we have our guests about that high school shot clock, because so many
pitch
games
clock can make a world of difference. Speed this stuff up. I'm just saying. Joe Bo got to get on her and speak her mind, because you just mentioned we got a month left. September should be when playoffs start. We should not be talking about who's gonna win the division or who's winning wild card in September. We should be doing playoffs. They need to cut the schedule down too to make it more interesting and get people more engaged. Because when fall starts, technically September is all what? Football. Everybody ready for cook-off in football.
Yeah,
and baseball
that is
don't
true.
have the viewers, but not as many because people gonna be more engaged in college and pro football. Like we should be doing September playoffs, not for baseball, not let's see who's gonna win and make the playoffs.
Well, you gotta allow time. These schedules are sometimes so close, and in certain divisions, the difference between can be like a game or two. That's currently not happening right now. Because, dear God, everybody is really those who are supposed to be there are pulling away and making it, like the Chicago White Sox.
Man.
The Chicago White Sox.
You know what? What? Hold on, buddy.
I looked at my predictions because I picked the White Sox being in the wild card, and they're actually gonna win their division. But
I had them win the AL Central. I had them win the Central.
Yeah, I had them wild cards, so y'all, you picked a good one in. You did good on that one.
But you know what? Let's hold that because now she's ready. We have our baseball, hockey insider, and we appreciate her for staying up and staying on and being patient with us. Joe, what is happening with you? Everybody say, what up, Joe? What up, Joe?
What's up, Joe?
Hey, what's up?
Joe's in the building virtually.
Yeah. Once again, Joe, thanks for being patient with us. We appreciate it.
Yeah. No
Look, I'm talking about a clock here. We got a pitch clock. I know you got a clock because of me. Let's talk about this pitch clock. Let's get this going. Tell MLB fix it.
There's been a pitch clock.
It ain't fast enough. Make it faster.
I got no problem with the pace of the game.
Of course you don't, because you're more of the older school version of it. I'm for the newer school. I'm like, yeah, let's spice this up. Let's get this going. It's 9:16, and we're only in what inning are we in, y'all? We in the bottom of the seventh?
Top of the eighth now.
Top of the eighth?
Yep.
Right, the game should be over if it's a little faster. I'm just saying. It started at 6:45, y'all. Come on. You know what I'm saying?
and Joe, your thoughts, because yesterday was, of course, David Freese return back to Busch Stadium. He's being honored, the whole nine. And you know how Valley Sports Midwest love to show that whole stadium view of the people. And I have to say, I was disappointed. I expected more. Do you feel it was more because of the team, or is it because of the pandemic, or what?
I think it's a mixture of everything. I know we just won 6 straight games against losing teams, but there's good teams out there that can't beat losing teams. Like
True.
the Astros, they're probably going to get swept by the Royals, but they whoop up on teams like the Yankees, the Red Sox, etc. So that doesn't matter. You're in a wild card race, and you should be there. Well, there should be fans, but I think it's a mixture of people don't take them seriously because of that, the pandemic. BK from 101, Sully made a good point. It's always like the first week of back to school. The stadiums are a little empty or whatever. So that's, I think it's a mixture of everything. But it's happening all over the league. Yankee Stadium's never packed. Houston's never packed. Dodgers are hardly ever packed. I think the only place that's ever packed is really Chicago for the Cubs, and that hasn't been probably since the trade deadline.
Right.
But they also have
Should the Padres?
The Padres.
Padres been showing up too. The fans out there in San Diego been showing up a little bit more too.
They're coming to see Tatis.
Yeah. And what was I saying? Like even the Reds though, like the Reds are right there in a playoff spot, and there's like 15,000 every night there. It doesn't make sense to me. So I just think for everyone, the pandemic, people don't want to go out yet. Now it's going back to school and just stuff like that, So I think it'll change next year if we have baseball.
What's going on with Arenado? He's still mad about that call strike?
I know why he's still mad.
It happened the second time.
Oh, it happened 2 times now. Okay. He keep on getting called out for a strike when he felt like it wasn't called a strike. 1 second, y'all. We have a disconnection on one of our services. So give me 1 second here before we continue on. Wait until it reconnects.
Got called out twice. He acting like standing over there, being in his fee-fees. It's over with. You already had your bet. Okay, you got called. You don't think so. You still come back there arguing. Come on.
You know what? It's gonna be days. During that
pregnancy of years where you gonna be in your PPs too. And you know what I'm gonna say?
Okay, we back. All right, y'all. Sorry about that. We had a small little break.
What you say, Joe?
Sorry, I was just saying he could be upset because those weren't strikes, but these are big games. Padres and Reds lost 2 days in a row now, and
we need to get these wins.
Right.
So,
we need to win. We may need him as a bat too to come up one more time and get another go-ahead run for us. So come on.
Like, what if we need him defensively in the 8th?
Yeah. That's one time you pick up the game, bro. You got let it go. Let it go.
So speaking of production, Joe, I felt coming into this series, this crucial series it's crucial, but I'm not going to focus no more on the Central. That's the Brewers, okay? Wild card is like right now the only focus that needs to be. But in order for us to beat these superior teams, it is imperative because I feel real okay with Nolan and Goldschmidt. But guys like Tyler O'Neill, Bader, Edman, those three guys to me need to really stand out these last 30-something games of the season if we have any chance of making the playoffs. We cannot have these streaky moments or whatever. We need them to be consistent for these last 30-something games if we have any chance of making the playoffs. What's your thoughts on that?
Edman's been hitting doubles left and right now, so I'm not too worried about him. It looks like he's got a little bit of rest. He's good to go. He's got 30 doubles on the year now, so I'm not worried about him. Bader, he's slumped for a little bit, and that's just the type of player he is. He's still slumping, but just have him out there defensively. I even said that at the beginning of the year. Keep him down lower in the lineup, and you just need him for his defense. And then O'Neill, I don't know. He had a couple homers over the weekend, but tonight was they said on the game that tonight was the first night he had an RBI that wasn't from a home run since July 9th.
Exactly. And that's been my issue with him is that, he's a talented player, just like Bader. They're both talented, but it's all about what are you going to do in the clutch situation when you got men on base. There's been too many times. We saw last night, Arenado too, but he has a better resume than O'Neill. But these are the moments that we need those guys when you have men in scoring position, that you're doing what it takes to get these guys, to get your teammates to score home. And it's just too many times where, like you said last night on Twitter, first swing, pop out, you know what I'm saying, or striking out too many times. We need, I think, Arenado to toss out for the game because I see Sosa now at third base. But, but anyway, we need those guys to be more clutch with men in scoring position because if not, you're going to start seeing later on down the line, Goldschmidt, Arenado may not be pitched the same, especially if you're playing other teams that's trying to get to the wild card like the Reds and the Padres coming up and the Dodgers. They may not pitch to Goldschmidt or Arenado and say, let's go ahead and try out O'Neill. Let's see what DeYoung, had. Let's see what, and I should add DeYoung to that too, and Bader, whatever. Let's see if these guys can really handle it because to me, what I see is that these guys can't handle the pressure. These guys can't handle playing in I hate to say it, but these guys, I don't think they can handle playing in St. Louis because they know the fans' expectations. DeYoung had an interview, maybe 2 weeks ago, and he was like, we feel and hear the crowd being frustrated and getting mad and da-da-da-da. Why are you worried about what the crowd is thinking and not doing your job? So it's like you worried about the wrong stuff and not getting your game together. That shows me that you're not mentally strong enough to handle playing in St. Louis. The problem he had a while back when he admitted how he gets anxiety from pressurized situations. I feel like he ain't the only one, but he just admitted it.
Right.
But to me, there's a lot of guys on this team that deals with anxiety and they'll know how to handle it. They were good in KC. They were good in Pittsburgh. Yeah, of course, they're not as good as, of course, not even close to being like the Brewers or whatever. But then you get home and it's like, we facing a first place team. About to get all tense. We got Corbin. We got the guy Peralta tonight. Then we got the dude tomorrow. Oh my God, they're the three best top pitchers in the league about to get tense. And then what happened? You strike out 5 times in the series, or, we saw last night 0 for 5 or 0 for 4. These guys need to get it together, man, or you're not going to stay.
But if it makes you feel better, they're like this on the road, too, though. Our record on the road and at home is almost the same. So,
and that's a problem.
Anxiety, yes.
That's a problem.
I mean, right. But I'm just saying, you talking about because they playing from the home front crowd and they hear the crowd and all that, but y'all doing this on the road and ain't no home team, so what you nervous about? But anxiousness is very common on this level. So not just being the same level. You played in a ballpark prior to this year, the Reds, they suck for years. They got people on their team that got anxiety. So I won't use that as an excuse. I mean, it happens like similar to people dealing with mental illness. I mean, baseball is a kind of different sport compared to the other ones with what they have to face and deal with the pressure and all that. But I just say just go out and do your job. You said do your job, just do it. Don't blame it on the home crowd. Don't blame it on the road. Just do it.
I want to be so wrong. I want to be so wrong. I really do. But like you think about remember how Edgar Renteria had a great season. Great career in St. Louis. Then he went to Boston Red Sox. And the pressure of playing in Boston, he was not the same guy. Certain guys go to certain teams that their fan base has a different expectation because they're so knowledgeable. Not saying they're the best fans, but they're so knowledgeable. It is a mental thing. Like maybe for instance, these fans are these players are not seeing butts and seats. That could take their morale down. Like for instance, Stan.
Wait a minute. A lot of people, again, I got to keep comparing it to the last 2 seasons. You haven't seen it. Y'all say part of this is pandemic, not all but part. Last year didn't have it.
Well, no, that's totally different because it was a reason. But we talking about now that the opportunity is there to have fans and you're not seeing it, and that's why I bring up Stan. For instance, you prepping for a show. You hyped up. You ready to go. You about ready to slang jokes to hosting with the whole 9. Then you go out there and you see 2 people. How does that make you feel mentally?
Oh, them 2 people finna laugh their ass off that night. Let me tell you something. Whether it's 2 or 200, y'all gonna get these jokes. Like it doesn't change. That's the difference. It doesn't change. It's still the same.
I think we're giving excuses more than we should. Just as you said earlier, do your job. I don't care if it's nobody in the seats or people in the seats. So, Cardinal baseball in general, we know we're only a few towns where on a Tuesday night you can see 40,000 people. Again, the last 2 years we're dealing with a pandemic, and even if that's not the only reason people aren't in the stands, it's still a reason though. But I'm just saying, if that last year nobody's in the stands, and y'all still want. And everybody's stadium was like that though. We roll home. Any other team had the same thing that y'all did. Yeah. Nobody was in the stands, and you still had some teams that prevailed. Y'all can do it too if you want to focus on doing your job. Now you can't control when the pitcher's giving up too many runs in the first few innings. I got that. As far as Edmund and DeJong and all them, but still, let's let the excuses alone. We in August. Y'all had plenty of months now to get this stuff out your system. Anxiousness and all that. I don't know where I can fit in rotation or how I'm gonna fit on the field. Do your job. Y'all want to see playoff baseball. Do your job.
And that's when it also comes down to it, Joe. Are players like O'Neal, Bader, DeYoung, are they winning players? Are they guys that you can say because of these guys, that's the reason why we are winning a divisional series?
He didn't even tackle.
Going to the championship. Are these winning players?
You could say they are on other teams that have better rosters. Like, for example, Ledmus Diaz, he's perfect for the Astros. He's perfect. He's got like double-digit homers. He plays good defense all over the field, and it works because you got people like Jordan, Yuli, Correa, Altuve, Brantley. You got a stacked lineup already, so you can put him in there. He's been in there most of the year with Bregman out. So, if I guarantee if you put someone like a Paul DeYoung on an Astros type team or a Yankees type team, he's gonna be fine. It's because the whole lineup you got like 3 to 4 maybe big names that can do something for you, but then the other guys in the lineup, they're not consistent.
Okay.
That's why I always bring up like whenever Voit was traded to the Yankees and he started off good. That lineup has length. It's good. It's deep. They got names up and down that lineup. that's why it works out that way. But here in St. Louis, where are you going to put him with Goldie and say he was here instead of Goldie? Who's all the other names around him? A bunch of guys that came up through the system.
So pretty much, it's just the not having the pressure of having to do as much is the reason.
Well,
why.
yeah, I mean, the young came up first year, 25 homers. Next year, 30 homers. And he's still going to hit 20 plus this year. It's just when he first came up, everyone was expecting him to be, the savior of this team. And I think that's what the Cardinals did with O'Neal and Bader, DeYoung, all of them, So, like I said, if you put them on teams that have deeper lineups, then I guarantee they do something. They do more than what they're doing with us.
Well, right now they are currently up, is that 3-2 in the top of the 8? So we're trying to hold on to this lead. We'll see what's happening. But y'all brought up earlier the White Sox. I don't hear no one complain about La Russa now.
I think I complained about it, cracked the joke as far as AARP. But other than that, at the beginning of the season, I ain't had no issue as far as
when he ran from the dugout.
He's old school.
That was so funny.
But they brought him in for a reason. I didn't think he was not going to put him far. Like I said, I had him predicted winning the wild card, and he's winning the division. So
man, that team can be a team that can go all the way because they have the pitching, they have the offense. Like all year long, they didn't have what's his name, Elroy Jimenez and Luis Robert. Yeah, and now they back. That team is stacked, and having La Russa there is a huge factor. What were y'all thoughts? Because I enjoyed it from everything that I seen. But if y'all had the opportunity to, what were y'all thoughts on the Field of Dreams game?
I loved it. It was awesome.
it was actually an exciting game because it went into the bottom of the ninth or extra innings even. So that helped it. I mean, nostalgia and me in baseball, that ain't me. But in general, it was an exciting game. But I was just wondering, what are they gonna do with the field until they have the next Field of Dreams game? Like, is somebody
place.
else, a minor league team, using it?
Yeah, I don't think it'll be used no more until next year. They already announced, and I hate it. But next year's gonna be the Reds and the Cubs. I don't know why they chose those two. Well, the Cubs, of course, because they bring out the numbers. You know what I'm saying?
But the Cubs too in Iowa, because we have fan bases, from Indiana, even Iowa.
But the problem is the Cubs suck now. You don't have the Rizzos and Bryants and Baez no more. You just have Hayward and Contreras. So the Cubs they're irrelevant now. And for the Cubs people watching, it is what it is. But y'all time is gone now.
They used to that, though. They have 100 years of watching. It is what it is. So they still drawing the fans.
They're AAA teams in Iowa as well, so that could be part of it. And right now, that's half their team is AAA people. So, but the Reds thing kind of annoyed me. Like, even if it was like the White Sox and the Cubs, that'd be a bit different,
But
Like,
the Reds?
I'd be okay with the White Sox being in every year because the movie's based off of Shoeless Joe Jackson and whatnot, which that would have been cool. But, I mean, I do think they missed out on an opportunity to put the Cubs up against even the Brewers. The Brewers would have been a good one.
Right. You know how hockey does their Winter Classic? Baseball should be treating that with this Field of Dreams, with the matchup. And it's like, how did y'all miss the mark? But y'all trying to engage more younger people and make them exciting. Yeah, y'all missed that mark.
Now, they have been these last few years, I think the Cardinals were the first team to do it against the Pirates. The Little League games they be having. So they have been doing that, Bunny. The Field of Dreams was just something that, recently came up. But I still wish that it was the Cardinals, though. This matchup with the Reds and Cubs, like, come on, why? But another thing is that the Winter Classic, as you know, they have it in different, arenas. They don't want to have it in the same usual place. Like the one they had in Michigan was at the Michigan Wolverines, Ann Arbor, whatever. Baseball, it would take them probably, maybe 2 years or something to build a field like they did with Field of Dreams. Is that right, Joe?
Yeah, I mean, this was supposed to happen last summer. So it takes a bit of time for them to do that. I know people bounced around different ideas, like, shoot, maybe try doing like a Sandlot type game. That'd be kind of cool too. Just different places all around the country. And I would like the idea of like places that don't have professional sports, as in Iowa. You know, like someone mentioned, like the Grand Canyon. That'd be cool too. You know, just something different.
Yeah. For those watching on YouTube, sorry, apologize. We had a disconnection, and it didn't reconnect to YouTube. But now we are back. But I'll definitely make sure that I have the full video re-uploaded on YouTube later on as well. This is the Platform Sports Talk Show. We're gonna go ahead, Joe. I know you got to go ahead and leave, and we're gonna have to ask you to go ahead and leave as well. But before we do that, I want to go ahead and show love because this Sunday, Platform Sports Talk Show brings to you the WWE SummerSlam recap show. It'll be hosted by.
Now, the one time it's time for him to say something,
he want to laugh.
Because it's never, it's an echo. It's not the voice on its own.
Right,
you messed it up, Smooth.
Right.
Jeez.
And so the host is going to be none other than one of our Ladies Night panelists, our WWE enthusiast, Miss Sharita Washington.
From the Platform Sports Talk Show Ladies Night, it's Sharita Washington.
And special guest will be none other than head coach of St. Mary's High School, former Beaumont basketball legend, Brian Turner.
Special guest, Brian Turner from St. Mary's.
So for those who love the WWE, definitely check it out this Sunday at 8 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. Usually SummerSlam or all pay-per-views are usually on Sundays, but this year, this pay-per-view is going to be on a Saturday, going down in Las Vegas, and Sharita will actually be in Vegas broadcasting the show as well. So we are definitely excited for her, to giving her this opportunity. That's what this show is all about. Joe, you know, if you have something that you want to do, you know, some baseball thing, a hockey show you want to do, let me know if you can make it happen. Same thing with you, Bunny. Stan, just let me know if you can make something happen.
Tune in on YouTube after watching it on the WWE Network for $9.99. What?
No, Peacock.
They don't do that anymore?
Peacock.
Oh,
yeah,
there you
it
go.
changed, yeah.
Bro, Peacock killed the WWE Network. That was hilarious.
Yeah, and people are not happy about the Peacock at all.
Yeah, it's glitchy.
Oh, man, that's all bad.
I just haven't watched The Office. That's it.
And Miss Williams said that she agrees with you, Joe. Have the games in city and states without MLB teams. Yeah, definitely true. You know, it's all about marketing the game, and that's what Field of Dreams did. It marketed baseball in the best way they have marketed the game in years.
Years, man.
They had like that.
Their best rating in like 60
Yeah.
years.
Yeah, so they were perfect. And I love how they had the drones going all around. Like, you know, I know it'd be probably hard to have it at every stadium, but no, they shouldn't. They got money, but just be dope, just to be able to have a drone just going around. You know, that's gonna bring more people, more eyeballs to the game. You know, I mean, hopefully more bus to the seat because you're like, oh man, I'm about to be on the drone.
Younger audience.
Yeah. So you know, find a way to make the game that more marketable and watchable. And there we go. But with that being said, another incredible show. Thank you very much once again to Jayson Tatum for being an incredible guest. He enjoyed himself so much. He was like, man, it was trying to go by fast. I'm like, hey, all I guess is the same thing. We tell them, hey, it's a 3-hour show sometimes. The conversations be so good, and you be like, dang, it's been 3 hours already. I want to keep on going. But it's been great. Bunny, thank you very much. Joe, thank you very much. Stan, once again, thank you, sir.
Yes.
Continue prayers up with you and your knees.
This might be my last show for a minute. My appointment's on Monday. This might be it.
Oh,
yeah. So
Nice seeing you, meeting you. We'll see you in a couple months.
right. We gonna take over the lines again, Joe, and then he gonna come back like, wait,
Joe. Hey, Joe.
You ain't
It's the line is in business just picked up.
All right, we'll have to
Business.
send me that in text.
Just picked up. I got you. We'll put it in a text in a nice font. I'm thinking Helvetica, you know.
So with that being said, y'all, it is the Platform Sports Talk Show. Once again, your Wednesday night sports delight. Give us a follow, a like on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. Go on YouTube, subscribe, click on that.
Yeah, baby.
And because anytime we go live,
You
Yes, you, Miss Williams, saying I can stream from my hospital.
It's
bed.
true.
You.
They got that Wi-Fi.
Will be notified. Now y'all know. Well, y'all don't know. That Wi-Fi is spotty over there with BJC.
It'd be crazy.
Anyway, but you will be notified. Plus, I'm gonna have a mask on in the room. You know, you gotta be masked up and everything.
Yeah, definitely prayers up to you, man. Everybody else, thank you very much. And y'all have a great one next week. Got some more heat for you. Or maybe a little bit cooler. Stay tuned. It's a hint. The Platform Sports Talk Show. When it's about sports.
It still become my business, does it?
It does. And you know, business just picked up.
Look at Joe. We out. Right. We out. Ba-da-da-da-da-da.